Howdy, Marks. Lissy and Dylan here, talking about wrestling. That's why this podcast is called Talkin Wrasslin. We're going to probably get into some sort of debate, talk a lot about wrestling. Dylan interrupts me a lot. I think I get a little spicy in this one, who knows? I don't know. We don't know who the host or the co-host is. I might be hosting. I don't really know. Let's talk wrestling. All right. And we're back.
Yeah,
We're here.
We're here.
I'm Lissy, your host for the week, host with the most, I guess.
It's co-host with the co-most. I got it from a different podcast. Shout out to Twisted with Us, ICP with we.
Okay, well, I already fucked it up. So that's great. That's going to start this tone for this episode. All right, well, let's start with the usual. Dylan, how was your week?
It was something.
Yeah?
It was something. I have to get a wisdom tooth pulled eventually.
And another tooth.
So that's cool. So, it doesn't hurt though. Like, I haven't been in pain. They gave me a lot of medication and stuff, and I'm doing all right.
When you say medication, we're talking about like antibiotics and like a strong ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking like.
And then they give you Tylenol 3, and
yeah, and then you find out it's codeine, and you're like, shit. So we're not taking that.
But yeah, I'm okay. Compared to last week, because this started last Sunday, the pain or whatever.
Yeah.
Compared to last week, the pain has gone down tremendously, where it's like, I shouldn't even get these teeth pulled, but it's eventually going to happen anyway.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Anything else that you've done fun this week? You went shopping again.
I did. I just went because I was up at 5 a.m. to watch Elimination Chamber and didn't go back to bed, so I decided to go out, and I completed the House of Black, minus Julia. I don't have a Julia Hart yet. They don't have a Julia Hart figure yet. But I got Brody King, and I got Buddy Matthews, and I already had a Malachi. So we got the House of Black. We'll have to post a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, Elimination Chamber ruined my Saturday. We'll talk about Elimination Chamber later on in this episode.
Yeah, let them tell the people what we're going to be talking about, so they know what we're getting into.
Well, goddamn, I was going to talk about my week.
Well, yeah, you got to learn how to do this hosting thing.
We're talking about our weeks first.
Oh.
And then we're going to be like, this is what you see in this episode.
Okay.
My goodness. I was just going to say, like, because I was up since 5 o'clock in the morning, which, you know, happens when you live on the fucking, what are we, the East Coast?
We're the East Coast in America.
On the East Coast in America.
On the other side of Australia.
Is what it is. But, I mean, aside from that, I got some Girl Scout cookies this week.
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty fucking cool. I don't think anything crazy, fun, interesting, extravagant, whatnot had happened this week to me that I can really recall. But
no,
nothing out of the ordinary, nothing unusual and fun, just lots of Girl Scout cookies, and that was very exciting. But getting into this episode, we're going to be talking about some wrestling news that broke this week. It looks like we got a decent amount of it. We'll talk a little bit about Raw, what stuck out to us on Raw, what we enjoyed from it or didn't enjoy. A few things from Dynamite, along with one thing from Rampage.
Yeah.
The Elimination Chamber, Collision, and our Wrestler of the Week. But yeah, I think more so of anything, we're talking a lot about some wrestling news and whatnot that had taken place. So, I guess we'll just jump right into it since we really don't have too much to enter this episode with. First thing, and it's the only time we're ever going to be talking about this promotion, I guess.
Read verbatim what I have written down.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, fuck this promotion.
Trying to be nice for the YouTube algorithm.
Fuck this
since
promotion.
You yelled at me for cursing and saying the cunt word.
Fuck this promotion.
So, in parentheses, the only time we talk about this indie garbage mud show, end parentheses, fuck Dynasty Pro Wrestling or whatever the fuck the company's name is for booking Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen Dream, and also fuck them for disabling comments of their video that they posted about him, in parentheses, screenshot. You also used the wrong version of there.
Yeah, I know. I was very mad typing this. But yeah.
So while Dylan's pulling up the screenshots, I mean, it's pretty clear as to what we're talking about here is Velveteen Dream showed up at this indie promotion, and they were basically, which I'm sure Dylan has a screenshot saying it verbatim, everyone deserves a second chance, even if you're a gross pedophile.
So, this is what the fucked up thing is. I never heard of this fucking promotion before. This is the only time we're talking about, like I said. In their Twitter bio, which, by the way, their Twitter is at We Are The Dynasty. So if you want to give them a follow or do what I've been doing and commenting on their shit, harassing them, do so.
They only have 700 followers.
Yeah, it's a fucking shitty indie promotion. But their bio, bringing family-friendly entertainment to the New York Capital Region and beyond since 2013. Family friendly. You motherfuckers might as well take that out of your bio. Because they booked the Velveteen Dream. We're not going to get into the whole thing. If you know, you know. If you don't know, Velveteen Dream is a fucking pedophile. End of story. How to put it that way. So they decide to book this fucking piece of shit. They didn't even announce ahead of time or anything, knowing that if they did, people weren't going to show up.
Yeah.
So imagine just sitting there with your child or something. Imagine you take your child to go see the wrestling. The wrestling. And this fucking piece of shit pedophile walks out. Go listen to his interview on the Chris Van Vliet show where he quote unquote apologizes because it sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit. Anyway, the Dynasty fucking promotion, they posted this post about him being there. Last night, we did what most others wouldn't. We took a risk on a person and gave them an opportunity for a second chance to fulfill their dream. We stand by that decision. Thank you to the packed house for the last night's events. Now, at the time when I took the screenshot, there was 388 replies.
Yeah.
388 of them were fuck you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They disabled them. Why did you guys disable them? We Are Dynasty. I hope you find this fucking podcast. I messaged them on Instagram because they posted like a picture of Velveteen Dream saying, you're a shitty fucking promotion. They saw it. They viewed my message, never responded to me. So they know that people are out to fucking get them.
I don't understand what they thought was going to come of this. Like, oh, yay, you took a dream on somebody who... It's not like they did something stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, it's stupid. It's bad. Stupid's the nicest way of putting it. It's disgusting. It's terrible. It's awful. It's literally any sort of synonym you can come up with that fucking word. It is just god-awful fucking terrible piece of human trash. But it's not like somebody did something stupid where, like, I don't know, let's just say, like, you know, they were a little bit of an arrogant person and they were, you know, acting a fool when they were younger and then got older and realized, hey, I shouldn't have been acting a fool. You know, I might have burned some bridges doing that. I've matured. I've grown.
Yeah.
It's not like it's something like that.
This was recent, as of 2020.
Yeah, this was not like, and also, I mean, not that it would have made it any fucking better, but this isn't something that happened like 20, 30 years ago. This was like 4 years ago that this happened. Yeah,
this is recent. It's still going on.
And it's not information people don't know.
I think he did some prison time. Velveteen Dream just came back to the limelight, pretty much, because he originally posted like an apology video himself, which at first it was like not saying like, oh, give him a second chance or anything, but at first it seemed like he was being serious, of like, okay, he knows he fucked up, so like just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then he does a wrestling interview with Chris Van Vliet, and like, Chris didn't hold any punches on this interview. He straight up was like, explain yourself. Why are you a piece of shit, pretty much? And he explained himself. Go look up Chris Van Vliet Velveteen Dream interview. It's like an hour long or something. And Velveteen Dream goes into his whole fucking thing of what happened and everything. But during that, you can tell he was walking around the questions and didn't want to answer them.
Yeah, he wasn't being straight up.
But pretty much it was also just I hope when I apologize, I get booked somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, dude.
It was like trying to fucking save face about the whole
like,
fucking
fuck
thing.
you, dude.
But yeah, I mean, the company promotion, whatever, received a shit ton of fucking backlash, as fucking deserved for it. Again, it's not like it's some unknown thing or unknown person to the wrestling business where
this dude was in WWE on national television.
Like, it's not like someone people don't know about that, like, and again, I mean, if it's someone that they don't know about and did something like this and you're still trying to, like, you know, you're still shitty of a fucking promotion and a person. But again, people knew about this. This was a very well spread fucking fire of information that came from this.
I saw, like, even wrestlers that, like, I guess, like, would get booked there and stuff. Like, they were even being like, never book me here again.
Yeah.
Like, don't contact me. Nothing. I don't want to be booked in this company. And I don't fucking blame them.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they were trying to just burn their own promotion to the ground, they did a really fucking good job at it. Like, if they were like, we can't keep doing this, we need to figure out a way to end our fucking careers, that was the best way that they could have fucking done it.
Yeah, and there was the best one was a production crew that does, like, production for indie companies, and the guy, they weren't doing production for this show, but they saw the video, or, like, the picture or the tweet or whatever, and I saw their reply to it. I wish I took a screenshot of it so I can give the guy a shout out, because he seemed like a homie.
Do you want your phone back?
No, I wish I had a screenshot.
Oh, I thought you said you did have a screenshot.
No, I don't have a screenshot of it. I should have. But it was him saying, my production company would have fucking unplugged everything and took all the cameras and everything down. We have every right to do that. If we were not told ahead of time, fuck this. Like, pretty much production companies don't want to deal with it.
They probably didn't tell the production companies. They probably didn't tell anybody. And not to, like, I don't know.
Well, no, I'm not bashing the production company that was there. Yeah. I'm just saying, even production companies are
being like fuck
this.
You. Yeah, no. So, I mean, yeah, basically, long story short, fuck Dynasty Pro Wrestling and anything that they've ever done or do. I never heard of them. I don't know any people who were with them, and I do feel really bad for the people that were there at the shows, not only just the fans, but also the wrestlers who didn't know ahead of time. I feel bad for the wrestlers who no longer want to be a part of it, that might have called this promotion their home and might have been able to give. I mean, again, with 700 followers, I don't really know how large they necessarily were, but, wrestling connections happen throughout all different types of promotions, so I feel bad for any talent who had to step away from this promotion that could have possibly maybe had a shot and gotten in somewhere else. But hopefully for all the people that aren't pieces of shit, that kind of got fucked over in this situation, I hope the best for you, and I hope that, you go off and have very, very good, lengthy, long, happy, healthy careers, and I'm sorry they had to deal with that. Because fuck that fucking shit.
And whoever the promoter is, you're probably the booker too, and you're probably the company's world champion, because that's how it fucking goes. Fuck you.
Going on with things that pissed us off on the internet.
This is more so Lissy.
This is about me. Twitter trolls getting mad at Lissy because Tony Khan was having fun at Rev Pro.
All right, let me start with this first. Let me explain how I feel about this, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes about this. So Rev Pro had a show last week. It was Will Ospreay's last indie show. He wrestled Michael Oku, all of that. Will Ospreay's going to AEW. Tony Khan was there in attendance because he was at the soccer game the day before in England or whatever they were at. Tony Khan was just there as a fan. He was just there as a fan, mind you. And Will Ospreay gave him a shout out and all of this. And Tony Khan was getting hyped up in the crowd, as so would any other fucking wrestling fan, because Tony Khan, I'm coming to the defense of Tony Khan, yes. So people that think that I'm just anti-AEW, no, I'm coming to the defense of fucking Tony Khan right now. Tony Khan was just being a fan and was just like, this is cool. This is fucking great. For the people that were making fun of Lissy on Twitter, you guys do the same exact fucking thing at shows. Get excited. Everyone does. So check yourself, you fucking idiots.
And if you don't get excited at shows, why the fuck are you wasting your money,
like,
you fucking plebe?
You fucking idiots would never be able to survive in the 90s of pro wrestling. Mind you, I'm born in the year 2000, but Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
Enough said. Paul Heyman?
So I was going to read off some screenshots of some of these people because they're all on my phone and we're recording on my phone.
Oh.
So I'm not going to, because I know I'm going to go off.
While you're talking, I can actually just find it.
Dylan, I'm literally not doing this because I don't want to pop off for too long about
We'll
this.
pick 3 that are good.
Okay, you pick out some 3 that you think are good that I can make fun of.
Okay.
We won't say any names just because they're trolls and I don't want to necessarily give their actual accounts any sort of information. Good luck finding it. I post a lot on Twitter.
I'll find it.
That was Trixie Mattel too.
You keep talking.
So basically, my post that gained a lot of fucking traction essentially said, like, imagine getting mad at a billionaire or whatever. I don't even know if I mentioned billionaire. I think I said, imagine getting mad at the owner of an extremely successful wrestling business, wrestling promotion, for getting hyped up at a show, and then kind of like not countered it, but kind of added on saying like, if you don't get hyped up at wrestling shows, if you don't pop, if you don't get excited, if you don't have fun, you're boring, and I don't give a shit about your opinion. And the one thing that all of these fucking plebes latched onto in my statement was the extremely successful part. Like, all of them latched on to that. And they're like, AEW is not an extremely successful promotion. What are you talking about? When, mind you, I believe AEW was valued at $2 billion?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was like $2 billion, which granted it's of course not as much as the WWE, but nonetheless, it is valued at $2 billion in less than a fucking decade, half a decade about, of their birth. And how long did it take WWE to get at that? And that's not me necessarily saying that WWE has never been successful. Of course, WWE has been incredibly successful for many, 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 many years. But the fact that they got to $2 billion in half a decade says something. At the very least, it fucking says something. But for some reason, everybody wanted to latch on to that point. And that was not the point of this fucking conversation that I started. The point of the conversation was people are mad that Tony Khan cheers and gets excited about wrestling. And I think it's refreshing and great to see somebody get excited about wrestling, and especially the owner of a successful fucking company. And that's not me necessarily going to sit here and say that I don't think fucking Triple H gets excited about what he books and everything along those lines. I'm sure he does, but of course you don't really get to see it that often. And it's nice to fucking see it. And a lot of people were also saying like, well, it's childish and it's not professional.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I'm missing anything, but like most of these like aren't even worth reading because
that's what I was saying.
Half of them are just in quotations, extremely successful.
Yeah.
Oh, simping for a billionaire. Like they're all
also,
bro, these are all fucking bots.
Also, if you think that I'm simping for a billionaire by me saying I'm like to see the owner of a company be excited. First of all, I would never simp for a billionaire. If I'm going to simp for anybody in the wrestling promotion, it's two millionaires and their names are Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. So we're going to get that fucking clear. All right? I'm not simping for Tony Khan. I'm just saying I think it's nice and I think it's refreshing, and people got fucking up in arms about it. What does that one say?
This one's funny. This one's fucking stupid as shit. I can't say the one word, so we're gonna... They prefer our, and those that enabled them.
No. That is an agreement with me. Because that's a response to me saying, imagine being mad about that, and this person's like, yeah, they prefer these types of people.
Well, because I was gonna say, you're just saying that, but, like, do we need to talk about the Vince thing, my guy?
Yeah, no, they're saying that in response to my, like, they're in agreement with me.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
But yeah, there was a lot of these. This one was funny. I'm not gonna classify this one as a hate comment because this is just fucking funny to me. Dude is more autistic than I am, gives my autism. And I'm not gonna say that's a fucking hate comment because that's hilarious. But, yeah, no, it's, yeah, too bad he has no clue how to book or act like a CEO.
Bro, your profile picture, you look fucking... Your profile picture is blurry as shit, bro.
He looks like he just got done crying.
I know, there was one that I replied to because that's how I found the post easier. But because I just looked at my notifications. But... There was a post. I'm trying to find it, but it was...
It might have gotten blocked.
It might have. It was a picture. It was someone's profile picture of a car. And I said, oh no, let's see, the Transformers are coming after you.
Yeah. Optimus Prime is heated with me right now.
Someone sent a gift of Shawn Michaels doing the dick sucking motion. And their profile picture is AJ Styles. Oh, yeah.
So you're a flat earthist. All right. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
You're a flat earthist. We're just roasting these people.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Imagine thinking this man wants to kill indie wrestling. Fucking seriously. Yeah. Fucking seriously. Like, he is such a fucking, oh yeah, that dude was, so this guy said, extremely successful, but hasn't made 1 penny in profit. You guys are so unintelligent, it hurts. And then his entire profile, he was roasting and complaining and bitching about the Dax Harwood and John Moxley kissy kiss spot. And he was like, I can't believe you people watch this fucking garbage. This is so fucking gross. And I'm like, dude, you can't come at me and call me, like, unintelligent when you're sitting here bitching about 2 grown men fucking kissing. If your feelings are that easily hurt, that really fucking sucks for you. I'm so sorry.
Newsflash for all the Twitter trolls out there. The people that are in the wrestling business are the biggest marks of them all.
Oh, God, yeah. Dude, fucking, if we're gonna continue with FTR, Bret Hart marks.
Yeah.
Fucking huge-ass Bret Hart marks. Like, come the fuck on,
If you are in the wrestling business, owner, wrestler, you're the biggest mark of them all because you're doing it.
And you know, I'm gonna even maybe say something that's a little controversial here. You know, a lot of these people that like to drag AEW and shit on AEW are fucking Cornette followers. And, you know, call people out for being marks and being nerds and this, that, and the other thing. When Jim Cornette is like a very big fucking wrestling historian.
Exactly.
He's a massive fucking mark. And like, I mean, look, again, I don't like
He's
Cornette.
He's gonna hear that and be like,
I don't like Cornette, but I'm not trying to say that in like a derogatory manner. Like, he legitimately has dedicated his life, and he is so passionate about in interviews about saying like, I fucking love wrestling. Yeah. And the reason he gets mad at wrestling that he doesn't agree with is because he doesn't agree with it, and he thinks it's getting shit on because it's not his viewpoint of wrestling.
He doesn't like the certain type of wrestling because it gives wrestling that he loves a bad name.
Yeah, and the reason again, I don't agree with him, but the reason he acts the way he acts is because of his passion for wrestling and how he thinks wrestling should be. That is a fucking mark.
Tony Khan's a mark. Paul Heyman was a mark.
They're just marks.
I was a goddamn mark.
You still are a mark.
I am.
They're just marks in different retrospects. So if you want to sit here and make fun of people for getting excited about wrestling and being happy that wrestling is good or brings them joy or something, first of all, you're not a fucking wrestling fan if you're watching something that doesn't give you enjoyment. You're a fucking idiot. But also, you're shitting on all the other people that you idolize and look up to. So you're being extremely counterproductive, and you also just look like a fucking idiot about it. It also goes with the numbers fucks, because a lot of these people were numbers fucks and being like, all this money and all these ratings and all this. Yeah, first of all, the last thing I care about when it comes to wrestling is how much fucking money is being made and how many people are fucking viewing it or how many people are buying tickets or anything. I don't give 2 fucks. And if you're more worried about enjoying a company because you're just basing it off of its success, you're not a wrestling fan. What the fuck about indie promotions? What the fuck about any sort of smaller fucking promotions that aren't on national television? You don't care about wrestling. You care about money and people that don't give 2 single fucks about you.
Was ECW a successful promotion? Because
God,
no. No, you don't know what I'm about to say. Yes, it was. But look what happened. They went bankrupt.
I thought we were talking about the tail end. Sorry.
Was Smoky Mountain a successful wrestling promotion? Yes. Look what happened. Paul Heyman didn't have a budget. He wasn't funded. Well, we're not going to get into all that. He was funded, but he wasn't. There's conspiracies. Jim Cornette wasn't funded, but he also kind of was by Rick Rubin. But that was different. That was different. That was just for music purposes and stuff. But I hate talking fucking numbers. Bro, if AEW is on fucking TNT and TBS every fucking week, they're obviously doing something fucking right.
If I'm sitting here and I'm watching a wrestling, because this is how I envision these fucks watch their wrestling, right?
They don't.
No. This is what I envision they do, right? In my Delulu brain. Maybe it's even not that Delulu. They're watching an episode of Dynamite or Raw or SmackDown or whatever, and they're sitting there and they're like, okay, all right, that was the product. Now, I need to wait a couple business days for the numbers to come out to see if I actually enjoyed it. And if the numbers don't line up with the numbers that I want, then I did not enjoy the wrestling that I spent my time to perceive.
Like,
Like, how fucking stupid and boring are you? I swear to God, if I ever met one of these people in real fucking life, I would probably grab their fucking, no, I would grab my head.
I'd be in jail.
I would smash my fucking head off of a wall so goddamn fucking hard. Because I can't with these people. I fucking can't.
I love when, like, Twitter trolls try to talk wrestling terms, if you don't know what carny is. Like, oh, they're working great. Oh, their work sucks. Oh, is that a shoot? Like, you guys have no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. Just go sit. Like, I'm not saying go to a wrestling school. It's not for everyone. It's a lot of fucking money. You can walk in and watch a class.
Dude, when I was at work yesterday, we won't talk too much about, because again, we're talking about it later. My boss was watching Elimination Chamber, and there was a part in the show, we'll get to it later, and I was looking at it, and obviously, again, I watched it early in the morning. I looked at him, and I was like, you think he's working or shooting? And he goes, go the fuck back to work. And I'm like, I'm wondering, what do you think? You think he's working? You think he's shooting?
The one day at work,
Hand me my monster, please.
So speaking, kind of backtracking, I pretty much got a promotion at work. Thank you. I set up machines now. But the one day at work, my the shop manager was like showing me everything, like how to set up this one machine, and afterwards he was like, all right, take it out and everything, like take it out, it's done and everything, put it away. Mind you, it's a machine that is like 100,000 pounds. So you gotta screw these things fucking down hard. So I'm there with the wrench trying to unloosen the bolt. I'm like, these bolts are shooting on me. And he's like, what? I'm like, these bolts are shooting on me. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they won't come out.
You know, next time Mark says something off the wall and bullies me at work, I'm just gonna look at him and go, you working or you shooting, bud? Every time he says, is that work or a shoot? Let me see how long it takes for him to throw something at me. Anyway, before segueing into our next topic, if you are one of these people that cares about numbers, only cares about the numbers and the ratings and the money and this, that, and the other thing, and that's like the one thing you dive the most into about wrestling, get a fucking life, get some fucking pussy, move out of your mom's goddamn fucking basement, because she's probably the only woman that you've ever seen in the past like 10 fucking years, because you're locking yourself in your goddamn basement analyzing numbers. Shut up. We're gonna get copyrighted. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, just live a little and be more in touch with your emotions and learn to feel something that's not just anger towards people that disagree with you, as I've just been yelling about people that disagree with me.
Go touch grass.
Yeah, maybe go touch grass. I don't know, plant a tree or something.
Get a fucking life.
Get a life.
Get a job.
Yeah. So enjoy wrestling for what it actually is, instead of just the analytics and numbers and bullshit that goes into it that realistically nobody in the real world actually gives two fucks about. And if you do give two fucks about it in the real world, well, I'm sorry that your life is that fucking miserable. Continuing on to people with miserable lives.
Or just start a podcast.
Continuing on to people with miserable lives. Dave Meltzer.
We're making this like a weekly thing, just roasting Dave.
So I'll read this as Dylan had written it. Dave Meltzer gets it wrong again. In parentheses, reports saying Hangman has a broken ankle when all he was doing was working. End parentheses. In more parentheses, follow up on last week's episode on Dave getting the Rock and Triple H thing wrong.
You didn't have to read the parentheses. That was just side notes.
What Dave says was somebody sent him a video from 10 years ago of Triple H and the Rock, and Stephanie McMahon was there. End parentheses. And I do not know what the fuck you meant by that last sentence.
We'll talk about the Hangman thing first.
Okay, so my boy Hangman, my yeehaw cowboy boy Hangman, he was in that tag team triple trios, whatever.
Yeah, we're not. I don't even have that written down to talk about that on Dynamite.
Well, I'm just gonna go over this quick just for context. So he was in the trios match and whatnot. The match ended. He flew out of the ring and landed funky on his ankle. And, you know, he was gripping his ankle and whatnot. And as the cameras were panning to him, he was like, don't film me, don't film me, don't film me. After the cameras cut and went off air, there was videos circulating on the Twitter of him angrily limping away, saying, "It's my ankle hurts, my ankle's fucked up, yada, yada, yada," and very frustrated. And so basically for a bit, as per Dave Meltzer, people were under the impression that Hangman broke his ankle or had a very serious ankle injury.
It was Dave and Brian, actually.
Dave and Brian?
It was Dave and Brian.
That led to, that was like a main concern, which of course, like, it seemed like a main concern, but it seemed like a main concern because Hangman's good at his fucking job, and he didn't hurt himself by the time he got into the backstage area. He was walking fine, he was talking fine, it was just an angle. From what I heard, apparently there was a personal issue that came up.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Where he wasn't sure if he was actually going to be able to get to Revolution.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So they did this
Just
in the
in
event
case,
something happens,
That's
where they
what
can
I
write
heard.
it off easier. I haven't heard if he is going to be there, if he's not going to be there, if this personal issue got settled or what the fuck it was, but they basically did this as a just in case type of thing. And also, even if he does go, I feel like Swerve's going to be winning this belt anyway, so it will be good storytelling going into it.
Well, yeah, it'll be a good story to, I guess, protect Hangman in a loss of not being 100%, because they'll play off the ankle.
But now it's tough because it was brought out that he was working and that he was fine. Which, again, to me, going back to wrestling fans know too much. But here's the thing, right? It's a tough one because
that's why they can. Oh, go ahead.
It's a tough one because it was concerning. Again, Hangman's just really good at his job. I was fucking concerned. I was like, oh great, this fucking sucks. He's actually hurt. He's gonna miss the fucking main event. And even though I don't think he was gonna win, that fucking sucks. Like, I really want him to be healthy. I really want him to be okay.
I don't think the match should be the main event. That's just my opinion, but
nonetheless,
honestly, I think Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks should be the main event.
Absolutely, it's Sting's last match.
I'm sorry, but I just think that's what it should be.
No, I agree, and it's not a bias of the Bucks. It's a respect thing for Sting. Like, Sting deserves the fucking main event. It's his last fucking match.
Like, no offense to Swerve and Joe and Hangman, and the world title, but I just think it. I just think if it's Sting's last match in the Greensboro Coliseum, it should be the main event. And whatever the way if he wins,
I don't think he's gonna win.
I don't think that they'd be dumb to have him win, because then they would just vacate titles and then have a tournament that the Bucks would probably win. So just have the Bucks win.
But he deserves to be the last person standing in that fucking ring and have, like, even I'm assuming it's going to be a loss even after he loses, to be able to have that moment and have that close out the show.
Yeah, it was like when Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels at Mania 24, and it was in the middle of the show. There was like 3 matches after that. It was just weird. Yeah. Like, being like, damn, Ric Flair's retiring, but coming up next.
in fairness, I don't think Joe, Swerve, or Hangman would at any degree be insulted to be the co-main event. You know what I mean?
Let them fucking open the show.
Or whatever. But, like, I don't think they would cause an issue for it. I think they'd be like, fucking, yeah, please give Sting the main event. Yeah. Like, this man's a fucking legend.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, it's a tough one because you want to know what's going on if one of the wrestlers that you enjoy and watch is hurt or not. However, because this was something that could have possibly played into the story, we should have just went with it that he was hurt, and then if things got cleared up, then we could discuss it later on down the line.
Yeah.
Because now people know he's not hurt, and if everything's Gucci and okay for, the main event and Hangman can be there, now you're like, okay, well, he's injured, but he's not injured. We know he's not injured, but he's acting like he's injured. And it makes it messy and muddy now.
I think what they should do, since the cat is out of the bag, because of course it is, because Dave Meltzer has to ruin everything. It's AEW. They're probably not going to do anything because they've done it before with the whole devil thing. We knew who the devil was going to be, but whatever. But they should just do a thing now, and it would work the way that Hangman's being booked. Have Swerve and Joe be like, you're faking it. And then have Hangman be like, no, I'm not. Be delusional about it. No, I'm not.
I mean,
like,
that would play into his character a lot.
Exactly. Like, I think that would be perfect. Like, have Swerve and Hangman have Swerve be like, your ankle's actually not hurt, but I will actually hurt your ankle. Or even Joe be like, yo, you're not hurt, and no, yes I am. Like, no, I'm not. Like,
it'd be so funny if he came out in a cast to wrestle, and like at some point during the match, he just takes the cast off and starts beating somebody with it.
He does the Kevin Nash thing where he's sitting in the chair with the cast and he gets up. And it's just...
That'd be so good. But yeah, so Dave Meltzer's stupid and possibly ruined this, maybe.
Dave Meltzer ruins everything.
So yeah, I mean, I think actually, so Dave came out and said that he had a broken ankle, which again could have played into a story. I'm not really gonna go too much crazy about it because it could have worked. I think Fightful was the people who came out that said he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So now that's conflicting. And
they always conflict each other. That's the funny thing.
Not only does it, make Dave look like a fucking idiot being wrong about it, but again, now that also adds to fucking up the whole situation. Yeah. So realistically, I think the best bet of this is no one should have fucking said anything. Yeah. And we should have just waited and saw what happened on fucking Wednesday.
Or sometimes it's nice to lie to the journalist. Be like, yeah, he's fucking hurt. He needs
maybe Hangman lied to everyone.
He needs like 3 rods in his ankle. I would have fucking...
He lied to 2 different journalists, and it's like, which one is it?
That's funny. I do that too.
So did you wanted to follow up on last week's episode with Dave getting The Rock and Triple H wrong?
Yeah.
So what Dave said was someone sent him a video that was from 10 years ago of Triple H, The Rock, and Stephanie.
Yeah, so if you listen to this podcast on a week-by-week basis, thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you. What's wrong with you?
You're a trooper.
But if we remember, Dave was talking about how that Triple H and Rock were going to challenge each other at WrestleMania and all that. And that it was from the press conference, it wasn't aired on TV, yada, yada, yada. So, how Dave got that information was someone sent him a video. And it's from like an episode of like Raw or SmackDown from 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And it's a backstage segment of The Rock, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. And I put emphasis on her because that just gives it away of how old this is. And it's a quick segment where it's just, maybe I'll see you at Wrestle, like they kind of just have like that tension. Oh, WrestleMania. You fucking moron, Dave. Fell for it. Didn't even fucking put 2 and 2 together. And you're reporting false shit yet again.
Like, I feel like just genuinely the quality of video from 10 years ago.
There was the scratch logo on the screen. The WWE scratch logo. Oh Triple H and The Rock both look 10 years younger.
Did Triple H have hair?
He had like the peach fuzz hair. He wasn't bald completely yet. He had the peach fuzz hair. It was short. And The Rock didn't have like that sleeve tattoo that he has now. It was just the Brahma Bull. So Dave, you're a fucking imbecile.
Okay. Well,
wow. And people pay money. People pay fucking their hard-earned money. People pay their hard-earned money to get reports like that from Dave Meltzer. Get the fuck out of here, fucking idiots.
Well, moving on to another fucking idiot. Matt Riddle is the New Japan TV champion.
That's something I thought would never be said on this podcast.
I'm gonna get in really close to the mic. I'm gonna talk a little bit quieter because I'm really close to the mic. If Matt Riddle is on my AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view, I'm simply going to find Tony Khan and I'm going to withhold all of his caffeine intake from him.
No, Tony has something to do really funny though. I'm gonna get close to the microphone too.
I'm going to withhold his caffeine intake from him and I'm going to force the man to take a long nap because he fucking needs it to reset his goddamn brain if Matt Riddle is on my fucking AEW pay-per-view.
I think Tony Khan should book RVD versus Matt Riddle for Forbidden Door.
I think I will simply pass away if that happens. Because I do not...
Or on the 420 episode of Collision.
I do not want Matt Riddle anywhere near my All Elite Wrestling. He is not elite in the slightest.
He beat the president of New Japan.
Tanahashi... I don't know...
New Japan's falling apart, bro.
I don't know if the man is just thinking with his bosoms and not his brain. because that man has large bosoms, but I don't know what the fuck this man is doing right now, but well, actually, no, that's a lie. I heard, allegedly, I don't know the 100% specifics about it, but I thought I saw somewhere on the internet that there was something going on with Tanahashi where he is either injured or has like a surgery or something was going on where he was essentially not going to be able to be on New Japan TV for like a month. Or maybe it was a little bit longer or something like that. I heard something like going around in the rumblings in the leafs of Twitters about that. So that might actually be the reason as to why he did it.
I mean, he has every power to do it or not do it. He's the goddamn president.
Well, yeah.
He's the booker.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think there was legitimately something that went into it as to why he dropped it. But as long as Matt Riddle is not a champion by the time of Forbidden Door, I'm gonna be okay.
I think he should drop it to, like, Jeff Cobb or something.
Anyone should have it that's not him. Just, I used to really fucking like Matt Riddle. Like, I liked him a lot.
Became a piece of shit.
Yeah, until he just became a piece of shit. And that's the thing. Like, he's not a bad wrestler. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a bad fucking wrestler.
The gimmick's great, I'm not gonna lie.
The gimmick's fucking great. He's funny, but it's just, I don't know. I don't like him. When he had that whole meltdown at the fucking airport saying security was like assaulting him and whatnot, like the man needs help. Realistically, he needs legitimate fucking professional help.
That's what cocaine does to you.
And he shouldn't be on screen anywhere while he is the way that he is. So, you know, I mean, I could go on a rant about people that I feel like don't deserve to be on TV because they're pieces of garbage.
Me too, and I would end up digging up names that we shouldn't mention on here, and that would cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, well,
because fuck all of them.
But nonetheless,
that goes for backyard wrestling too.
Nonetheless, I guess congratulations, woo,
bro,
Tanahashi. Please fix this. I swear to fucking God. However, he did do something right. Congrats to Nick Nemeth on becoming the IWGP Global Champion.
I can't believe they had Dave Finlay, the first champion, because he was the first champion. Just lose it that fast, but I mean, cool for Nick Nemeth. I'm glad. I'm
gonna really quickly jump into this one as well, just to make my whole point. Congrats to Ali on becoming the TNA X Division champion as well.
The Pat McAfee clap, yep.
And here, I made a point on the Twitter, which I'll make the point here as well. I'll even include Matt Riddle in this, even though I don't like him.
I would say, yeah, all three of them are a good example.
All three of these are a really fucking good example of, like, were they all released? Or did Nick Nemeth's contract expire?
Ali and Nemeth were released. Riddle was fired.
Well, that's all kind of in the same.
Well, released, same thing. Yeah,
so
you could say
all of these people were released, and especially Nick Nemeth, had spent so fucking long with the WWE.
His whole career
with the WWE. And you know, just because they were making good money being there, and you know, had it good to a degree. I'm not saying booking wise. I'm saying like financially wise, had it good, does not mean that they can't go out somewhere else and have it even better. Because I don't want to put Matt Riddle in this. So we're going to just say with Ali and Nick Nemeth, both deserving to be champions.
Well, Matt Riddle was technically kind of booked pretty good in WWE.
He was fine, yeah. But Nick Nemeth and Ali were not booked well.
No.
Especially Ali, and especially Nick Nemeth as like towards the tail end of he was just kind of the guy that was there.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit because...
Let's put it this way. Ali winning the X Division title is his first title in like 20 years.
Yeah, he fucking deserves
That's crazy.
Like, I'm not a big Nick Nemeth fan. That might change depending on what he ends up doing outside of the WWE, just because he's been stuck in that style for so long, and I hate the WWE style of wrestling.
Bloodsport.
He's doing Bloodsport?
He's doing Josh Barnett's Bloodsport.
We could have fucking went to Bloodsport, Dylan.
Well, he has an amateur wrestling background.
Anyway, I just don't like WWE style, and Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth very much obviously fell into that. So I was not a big fan of him for a very long time. I want to see him expand his wings and obviously travel and learn new things and learn new styles and expand in his wrestling arsenal, stylistically wise. And depending, he might end up falling into styles that I really like and I really enjoy seeing from him. He's a great wrestler. I'm never going to sit here and say he's not a good fucking wrestler. He is really fucking good at what he does. Just personally for me, his style is not it. However, again, I don't hate him. I don't think he's a bad person. There's no reason for me to sit there and angrily be like, fucking Nick Nemeth. Fucking, I hate Nick Nemeth. He's the fucking worst thing on the planet. Like, good for him. Fucking good for him. Good for fucking Ali. That kid fucking deserves it. So fucking hardcore. He was begging for his fucking release for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then they finally maybe kind of started to maybe do something with him. And it's like, okay, at least he's getting some of his TV time. And then they were just like, no, never mind, man. And then kind of fucked on him again. So, and then just fucking released him. So
I'm just excited we're gonna get to see both of them when we go to TNA.
Yeah, he is such a fucking good wrestler. And I fucking love Ali. So I am very, 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 very happy for him. Very happy for Nick Nemeth and Matt Riddle. Count your fucking days. But congratulations nonetheless, I guess.
I'm just mad we never got the RK Bro payoff.
Yeah, that is a little upsetting, isn't it?
It's a little upsetting.
It was a little upsetting. But moving on to things that happen that might be anticlimactic. Raw! Let's talk about Raw!
No, Raw was pretty good this week.
I said might be anticlimactic.
Yeah, no, Raw was pretty good.
All right.
I think this is probably the most that we're talking about Raw ever.
More than likely. So, we are discussing Cody versus Drew. Great match, great finish. Love that they recreated the WrestleMania 39 finish.
It was a really good match. They kicked off Raw.
I missed this, I think.
Yeah,
Did I miss this?
You came home in like the middle of it. No, you were home. It's Monday. You were watching it.
Was I watching it?
Yes, you were.
I don't think I was watching it.
I think you were on the phone.
I was probably on my phone.
Anyway, really good match. Really, Cody's second loss since returning.
Oh! No, I did watch this. Because
Yeah.
I remember I was laughing about the replay.
Oh yeah, the Pat McAfee replay. But it was a really good match. Really great opening match, the Monday Night Raw. And they recreated the WrestleMania 39 finish of Cody had Drew ready for the Crossroads and Solo. Came out of nowhere. So that's kind of what the story is going to entail, pretty much Cody having flashbacks, I guess.
Fucking more flashbacks.
Yeah, he's going to be having more flashbacks, and Drew beat Cody in Cody's second loss.
Yeah, no, the only thing I remember from this is the replay of the little, like, what's it called where they draw on the screen for football?
Yeah.
And fucking Michael Cole popping off about Drew McIntyre, and he just scribbles over the screen and just goes, hypocrite!
Hypocrite!
Hypocrite! I fucking lost it. I was crying. That was so fucking
Pat
funny.
McAfee and Michael Cole are wild.
Along with things that make us laugh, the R-Truth / Judgment Day saga is the funniest shit.
It is.
Were we talking about this, the little promo package of him with the fucking poncho on?
Yeah. R-Truth with Poncho.
And they did like a whole documentary series.
I just love the whole story, and we all know where it's leading to. The Awesome Truth are going to win the belt off of the Judgment Day, bro. And it doesn't need to happen, but it's going to happen.
What if the Awesome Truth wins the belt, but it's not the Miz, and it's just somebody else that R-Truth thinks is the Miz? Like, it's some dude from the crowd who just happens to have the same haircut.
Bro, I want R-Truth to beat, like, Seth Rollins for the world title. And think it's the 24/7 title. Like, give it to him for a week.
I'm still mad. Not mad, but, like, I'm still upset that when R-Truth wasn't with WWE, as, like, in the recent times, that he didn't just show up to AEW one time, just one time with a microphone. And it, you know what? It could have been like a block that like crudely had like not a WWE, just like a W written on it or something. And he just runs in and starts acting like it's fucking Raw or something. And then at the end, it's like, oh shit, my bad.
Well, I said they
leaves.
would need to have like former WWE guys standing in the ring and have R-Truth walk out and then like go up like John Moxley and be like, "What's up, Dean?"
It would just be so stupid. And like again, Jericho's there, but he just goes like, "What's up, Y2J?" like it's still the same person. It's just stupid.
It's just funny.
But yeah, no, I mean, R-Truth is really the one thing on Raw that's going for me that I'm enjoying and really liking and looking forward to.
He missed Elimination Chamber in Australia because
he was in Austria.
He was in Austria.
Yeah, I mean they're very similar names. So I really
can't believe that.
I can't be too surprised. I too would have probably gotten confused.
What's the difference?
They're two completely different fucking countries.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oi, mate.
Australia is its own fucking country, and
what
I think Austria's in Europe.
Austria's in Europe? Oi, mate.
I'm not really good with
Aussie,
geography.
Aussie.
But yeah, no, dude, Australia is its own continent. Not I don't know, I might have said country, but its own continent.
I don't know the world, man.
Anyway, Dylan, how do you feel about the Viking Raiders, and I quote, whatever the fuck they're called?
I fucking hate them.
What is your pressing matter about this to the point where you needed to write it down?
They were on my screen on Monday Night Raw. It's a dumb fucking gimmick. It's just like clowns in wrestling. It doesn't fucking work. Vikings don't work. It's not 1995. Get this shit over. Like, just throw it out. It's fucking stupid. I hate it. I hate Valhalla. She took Max the Impaler's gimmick. These two fucks that when I was at pro wrestling school, which made me fucking just pretty much question why I'm even in this pro wrestling school. There was this fucking show, and these two fucks came, and they fucking literally were a ripoff of the Viking Raiders, and everyone's looking at them. Mind you, all of us were looking at them, and we're like, oh, they're the Viking Raiders and everything. And their excuse was, we did it before them. Fuck you. Shitty fucking wrestling. Not even the Viking Raiders. I'm on about these other guys now that I fucking witnessed at the fucking pro wrestling school that I went to. Shitty fucking wrestling. Fucking horrible. Couldn't cut a fucking promo for the life of them. Couldn't fucking work. The one fuck didn't know how to fucking run the ropes the right way. It was worse than John Cena and Kenny Omega. It was fucking Tyrus running the ropes. It was bad. But anyway, the Viking Raiders, fucking stupid, dumb. I hate it, just like clown gimmicks.
I think I was talking about the Viking Raiders at work the other day with Mark and Anna, and is one of them named Ivar?
Yeah.
I think they were talking about him.
It's Eric and Ivar.
I think it was Ivar that they were talking about.
Eric's hurt.
About how, like, he's, like, not bad of a wrestler. Like, he's able to do, like, good shit for his size.
When they were in Ring of Honor, they were good. But the gimmick, it's the gimmick that bothers me. It's fucking horrible. It's not 1995, just like clowns.
Yeah, well, I mean, talent being hidden behind shit fucking gimmicks isn't anything new anymore.
I hate it.
But okay, I'm glad you got the pop off about that. They showed those fake UFC fighters on my WWF television.
I can't believe they showed those fake UFC fighters on the WWF Monday Night Raw television.
It's stupid. I don't like it.
It was something. Bro.
No, I don't like it. I don't.
Hear me out. UFC guys cut better promos than half of the WWE guys because they just say shit, bro.
I don't care. Like, here's the thing. I get it that they're merged now and it is what it is. And, like, I'm not mad that they're merged or whatever. It's just, like, I don't know. This is the one of the big fucking things I have with WWE that makes me fucking not like it is the fact that it's, like, a spectacle for everything else that's not fucking wrestling. Every single goddamn fucking pay-per-view.
Sports entertainment.
No, every single goddamn fucking pay-per-view has 10 million fucking either commercials or fucking promo packages that go on for way too fucking long or intermissions that go on for way too fucking long and some other fucking stupid bullshit that I don't give two goddamn fucks about. It feels like just advertisement with a little bit of wrestling in it, and that pisses me off. And when it comes to, like, the UFC fighters, like, I know people were happy and excited and giddy about it, and that's cool, that's fine, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you're not allowed to like what you like. But to me, it's just another thing that they're throwing in there to that has nothing to fucking do with wrestling that I don't care about. Like, I'm here to watch wrestling. I'm here to watch the fucking people that I like do cool moves and say funny stuff. I am not here for a spectacle about everything fucking else and then just a little bit of wrestling thrown into it. It makes me lose so much fucking interest. And again, this might be too much of a rant for something that only took like 30 fucking seconds from the goddamn thing, from the goddamn fucking show. But to me, it's just like, if we're gonna continue adding this, like, this into it, it's just more shit and more things that we're gonna be doing that's taking time away from your actual fucking talent. And I hate it. I hate it. I don't care about anything else. If I wanted to watch UFC, I'd go watch UFC.
Yeah, so my take on it is I don't like it, but I understand why. But at the same time, I know I sound like those Twitter trolls of but if that's all it's going to be, if them showing a 30-second clip of just like a fighter in the crowd enjoying watching wrestling, and they just it's kind of like, it was pretty much like an ad break if you think about it. The way that they did it, it was a promotional ad break of like, oh, here, I don't even know who the fuck the guy was, but here's Conor McGregor, and then it's Conor McGregor fucking talking about how he's gonna, I don't watch UFC anymore, really. Here's Conor McGregor gonna talk about how he's gonna knock out Julio Cesar Chavez or whatever the fuck, and they literally, and it's just, oi mate, I'm gonna knock your ass out. If that's all it is, cool. Like, don't have them featured in storylines, weekly television, or if they're gonna be like, oh, big UFC 300 coming up on pay-per-view, it's Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Like, if they're going to promote that, I understand. But also, going back onto your thing of ad breaks and all of that, I get war flashbacks when I watch WWE pay-per-views, because I just get war flashbacks to backyard wrestling shows when it takes 45 minutes for the next match to happen because people need to put on face paint or just aren't fucking ready. I'm shooting today. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Not to compare the two, but it's just the first thing that comes to my fucking brain. Like, AEW, they'll promote other shows that are going to be on TNT or TBS, like new shows that are coming up, like the Pet Tricks show and whatnot. Like, during a match, they'll be like, oh, and make sure that on Thursday, this episode. They have
to.
Well, no, and I get that. What I'm saying is, like, why don't we make those calls on commentary and have a graphic flash up on the screen for UFC?
Because people want to hear the UFC guys talk because it's funny.
I don't care enough about it. Like, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're merged with UFC Endeavor. Look, we're merged with boxing now. Look, like, I don't know. It's, maybe I'm just too harsh and critical on it and cynical.
You're being way too harsh about it. It's okay to be mad about it, but I think you're being way too harsh about it.
I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like it, and I feel like those 30 seconds could have been given to something else. That's really it, I guess, is the best way of putting it.
No. I just want the fake fighters on my WWF television.
All right. Well, anyway, Jey Uso versus Gunther. We are definitely getting Jey versus Jimmy at Mania, and it should be a hardcore match.
I think, one, Jey versus Gunther was a really good match, and two, we're definitely getting Jey versus Jimmy at WrestleMania.
Oh no, 100%.
And it should be a hardcore match because of just the story, and because we're in Philadelphia, the land of extreme, ECW, so they better do something like that.
Or at least a Philly street fight.
Yeah, something like that. And I think it would... I don't think a Jey versus Jimmy straight up one-on-one match will be a banger, but Jey versus Jimmy in a one-on-one match with a stipulation with weapons could be a potential banger.
You know, it's crazy. We're probably going to be getting brother versus brother in the city of brotherly love.
I've been saying that for the whole year.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't listen to you.
Neither does no one listens to this podcast.
That's fine. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that just a standard match between the two of them wouldn't be a banger. I mean, they know they're brothers, they're twins. They've been a tag team for God knows how fucking long.
I want weapons.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but like what I'm saying is, like, I think that if they did just do a straight up singles match, I think it would probably be really fucking good. I think they'd fucking have a banger.
And this is gonna sound weird, but this is gonna be a ripoff of the Hardy storyline. But I think what should happen, just hear me out. Jimmy beats Jay at Mania, and they have a rematch at the next pay-per-view in a different stipulation match where Jay beats Jimmy. It gives Jimmy momentum and being like, I'm not just Roman's guy.
Yeah.
And because what are you going to do with Jimmy when the bloodline completely splits? That's the thing. Does he go back with Jay? Like,
probably.
You know what I mean?
He probably just goes back with Jay.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So, in my opinion, Jay's already over as fuck. There's a lot of potential for Jay, especially to eventually win a title. So give Jimmy the big WrestleMania moment, because Jay can have that in the future.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care too much about the whole bloodline thing that's going on. I mean, again, nonetheless, I think it's going to be a great fucking match.
In other words, Dylan just said, I'm on the no yeet side for this.
Anyway,
Yeet.
I think it'll be a great fucking match, irregardless if there's a stipulation or not. But I think it would be more sensible for there to be a stipulation.
Yes.
Again, even if it is just like a Philly street fight or something. But if for whatever reason they don't do that, I'm gonna have a super kick counter.
They're gonna super kick the fuck out of each other
just to see how much it happens. Because I think that'll be fun. All right, going on to something that I could Oh, I was like, what the fuck did you write here? Okay, going to something that I can discuss a little bit more excitingly. Let's talk about Dynamite! FTR versus BCC. I love tag team wrestling, and they did the time limit draw right, / FTR BCC feud is great.
Yes, this was a really good match. It was a 20-minute time limit, and they did it right. They didn't have someone hit their finish and go for the pin, and as the referee is counting 1, 2, oh my god, time limit draw. They even announced the times. I think it was like 5 minutes left, so they had that kind of right. They need to do it more often, like a minute left, do a countdown, build that suspension.
Well, I think when they were the first time, when you had the issue and you were like, hey, where's the countdown? I think I remember hearing that there was a countdown, but it didn't come through the audio for the TV. Like there was some sort of audio issue.
It needs to come through the audio on TV.
Well, yeah, I think there was
not just there, because I've been hearing people saying, "Oh no, if you're there live, you can hear it." No, do it on TV as well, please.
Well, we don't have as many matches. I mean, recently we have, which I'll get into in a minute. We haven't had as many matches reach close to a time limit, like aside from the Continental Classic. And the Continental Classic, you were able to hear it.
Yeah.
So I think they have done it. I just think that time there was an audio issue where
I just watch early 2000s Ring of Honor way too much.
I'm just saying, like, because any time they came close to a time limit draw in the Continental Classics, you were able to hear it on the TV. So I think it was an audio issue, because you heard, like, didn't you hear it towards the end of like a couple minutes left, maybe, or maybe even not? But
in this match?
No, the one, the Swerve and Hangman one.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I think people were saying that they were saying it got fucked up.
But yeah, they did it right. FTR was about to hit the Shatter Machine, but time expired and they just drop him.
Yeah, Cash literally just like fell on his ass. Dax just stopped in the middle of the move, but like Cash put his whole fucking pussy into that, and he was like, "I'm going with it," and he clearly he did. But
this feud is great because it took like all the jobbers in the locker room to pull them apart. And there was a whole, like, backstage altercation.
Be nice to Christopher Daniels. Jesus Christ.
Christopher Daniels is the only one there that probably wasn't a jobber. Anyway, I like this feud. I just feel like the promo that Mox cut on Collision could have been used for CMFTR versus FTR. Or CMFTR versus the Elite, my bad. Because it was like, oh, you guys are the old school wrestlers. We're the future. That feels like it should be another feud, but I still enjoy it. I'm back to enjoying Jon Moxley again. Thank fucking God, because he's doing something. I said to Lissy last night, I was like, not to wish hurt on people or anything, but I was like, it'd be wild if Jon Moxley gets attacked and he's injured. Oh my God, Claudio doesn't have a tag team partner. Fuck Wheeler Yuta.
I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at. So, but Wheeler, you're useless to the situation. Sorry. Oh my God.
Sorry, Paul.
And Bryan Danielson is busy with Eddie. Oh my God, Claudio needs a tag team partner. Moxley's injured. Oh my God, who's it gonna be? Chris Hero.
So
I want the Kings of Wrestling versus FTR.
So going back to Dynamite, the one thing, and this has really nothing to do with the actual feud. I like the feud. I'm in agreement. Anything that FTR is in, I'm gonna be here for.
With Chris Hero too, right? You're in agreement with Chris Hero?
Sure. The one thing that I am slightly a little about is we've had a decent amount of time limit draws recently. More and more.
Go watch me. No, hold on, I don't want to hear this.
Hold on. Let me fucking talk. In close succession than we ever have had prior to, and I'm worried. And this is just me. Like I personally, I don't really care. I'll take any match, whatever. If it's a time limit draw, cool, whatever. I'm just worried that it's gonna get too overused, and it's gonna be a thing. Well,
go watch early Ring of Honor.
I'm not talking about the early 2000s. I'm talking about in 2024. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying,
especially with the stupid fucking fan bases that we have now. And the people thinking that they know fucking every single goddamn fucking thing, it's gonna be fucking insufferable. And no one
wanted to do the job.
And then that's gonna be another thing. I don't care, personally. I'm just saying we've been doing it a little bit more than we used to. And again, sure, fine, whatever. I'm just worried it's gonna turn into a fucking thing and people are gonna be up in arms about constant time limit draws and this, that, and the fucking other thing. I personally don't want to fucking deal with it. That's like the only thing that like I have taken from anything in this general situation.
When time limit draws are done right, people like it. Go look at the Punk and Joe feud from Ring of Honor.
I am just saying that that's something that kind of popped into my head. Don't need to be told about early 2000s Ring of Honor and how fucking persistent they were with it.
It was pretty persistent.
I'm just stating with wrestling fans now, I could easily see people being like, why are they doing so many time limit draws? I'm so fucking sick of these time limit draws, yada yada yada. Like, if they do 2 more, everyone's gonna lose their fucking mind. Like, if in the next 2 weeks there's 2 more time limit draws, everyone's gonna lose their goddamn fucking mind.
See, this is what they should do. So they just had a 20-minute time limit draw. Alright? So the rematch, they should be like, fuck it, 30 minutes, right? 30-minute time limit draw. Then the third match can be no time limit draw, and they go 90 minutes. Piss everyone off. I'd do it. Fuck it.
Anyway, the feud's great. I know that they did announce that this FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club is going to be at Revolution. They have yet to announce if there's any sort of stipulation. I think it would be really fucking stupid to not have a stipulation. I agree with your thought of an Iron Man match. I'll take a 2 out of 3 falls also. But either way, I think there needs to be some sort of stipulation in this fucking.
Let them do an Iron Man match, and it ends in a draw. Fucking piss everyone off.
No.
I would fucking love it.
No.
I'd give them standing ovations.
We're not getting stuck in the Blackpool Combat Club verse. We're not doing that.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Until Chris Hero shows up.
Okay, so let's talk about something that brings me joy. So you wrote, look at that dumb fuck Dave. They followed up with the Sting / Darby / Young Bucks story because there was a Sting and Darby promo that was cut on Dynamite, or like a pre-tape or whatever. Very good, very fantastic, very awesome. And I said, hey, maybe it's like a little bit fucking sensical that if anybody's going to be talking about Sting's family, it should be Sting and not Darby when Sting is not there.
And look at that, Dave. The reason why Sting wasn't there last week is because Sting had a family emergency. Rest in peace, Sting's dad.
Yeah. So, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure they were probably initially planning to follow it up with the initial Darby versus Young Bucks promo that had happened last week. But clearly something happened, and that's why Sting wasn't there, and they still went back around to it. They weren't necessarily ignoring it, but why the fuck would Darby Allin come out without Sting and be like, hey, you put your hands on Sting's family. I'm voicing for him. I'm his microphone right now since he's not here. I'm going to speak for him. Why would he do that? That's stupid. Plus, he can't convey it the way that Sting could convey it. Like, it's not going to be as personable. It's not going to hit as fucking hard than it did with Sting talking about it.
That was one of Sting's best promos in AEW.
It was so fucking good. So good. Can you hand me my monster because my throat is fucking killing me? Because I'm angry and I'm yelling a lot. Thank you. All right. So, I don't know. Is there a whole hell of a lot you want to talk about with that promo?
No, I'm just pointing out the obvious for dumb fuck Dave Meltzer that they followed up on it.
I'll say, you know, the Sting and Darby promo was really fucking good, obviously. And, you know, I mean, I was already excited for this since the second that the Young Bucks came out at Daily's Place with their fucking silly ass fucking suits. I was excited for this. But the way that this elevated it, just, it's gonna be so fucking good. And I'm so fucking ready for it, and it should be the goddamn fucking main event. This Wardlow promo sucks.
This Wardlow promo did fucking suck. It was fucking god-awful. You had literally your Goldberg. You had your Goldberg at one point. He squashed MJF at one point. He was over as fuck. We were there live before when he was over as fuck. And people loved him. Now you have this motherfucker in this stupid ass fucking faction that makes god all fuck sense come out and pretty much be like, my booking sucks. Let me put over all these WWE guys. The newsflash, the my booking sucks promo didn't work 10 years ago, and it's not going to work now, big man.
Dylan, that's not a microphone.
I don't give a fuck.
That's the charger.
I don't give a fuck. This is already a better promo than what Wardlow was fucking cutting on fucking Wednesday. Fucking cuz, hey, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know.
Okay, I kind of agree, kind of disagree. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what he was saying in his promo, was I was over as fuck once, and now I've just been kind of looked down upon and belittled.
He literally was like, my booking sucks because of people, whatever, he said, CM Punk, whatever.
No, so fuck. What he was saying...
Something.
What he was saying in his fucking promo, which I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the only person he mentioned that's even in WWE is CM Punk.
Did he mention him by name?
I don't know if he mentioned him by name, but nonetheless, he might have, honestly.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Malachi Black did it.
I don't really know. But what he was saying was, you know, I put the hurt on this guy, to the point where he's still falling apart in other promotions now. And I squashed MJF. Yeah, because it was MJF and Joe and CM Punk he was talking about. So Joe and MJF are still in the company. So he wasn't putting over other talent. This promo
sucked.
He was saying the only talent in WWE he destroyed and is still falling apart, and his wheels are 3 out of the 4 wheels have fallen off, and you really can't keep going with just one wheel unless you're a unicycle, and those are really fucking hard to drive. Don't ask me how I know that. It's an assumption.
I've witnessed this promo before in backyard wrestling.
I'm not gonna say it was a good promo. A lot of people really liked it, which, cool, more power to you, that's fine. I didn't really care for it. I was just kind of like, okay, guy, all right, you're still going, all right, cool. I don't think it was like, you know, the end all be all, the worst thing I've ever fucking heard.
It wasn't a Maria Schaefer promo.
Yeah, I think that he could have, I feel like he was trying to elevate himself and really be like, I am this guy. And he was like half there and half not with it.
Wardlow needs a mouthpiece.
I didn't believe him. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like I really believed him. He needs either a mouthpiece or he needs help with promos. Because he was doing fine.
You have Adam Cole there with him now. Like,
yeah.
Like, let Adam Cole cut the fucking promo.
He was doing fine on the mic for a little bit. Like, he was getting there. But this one just kind of fell a little flat for me. And I wasn't really getting behind it. Like, again, I get what he was trying to say. But
it was flatter than a plate full of piss.
Yeah, it didn't really hit home. And I like Wardlow. I think Wardlow's great, you know, and I agree. I think Wardlow should be booked better. He was fucking over as fuck before, and now no one cares about him, and it sucks because he's really fucking good at what he does, and he's got the fucking look for it. He needs help with his promos, but, you know, that is what it is. Not everyone's gonna, like, hit all three perfectly. And... you know, I mean, I want to see him do better. That's really it. It was just, to me, it was disappointing because I see it and I get it, but he's just not there, and I want him to be there. However, with that being said, we are jumping back into Rampage, and we're going right on back into discussing our EVPs. Our executive vice presidents, extremely violent people, Matthew.
We don't even have to review the match. I just want to review this. I just want to talk about the segment. It was funny.
Matthew and Nicholas give Tony Schiavone an Amazon gift card. Also, Rip the Meltzer driver. It's now the Tony Khan driver.
Yeah, Dave, how do you feel that your name is no longer going to be called on AEW television because now it's the Tony Khan driver?
I firmly believe, this is how I believe this happened. Matt and Nick were like texting Dave, and they were like, hey, did AEW win Promotion of the Year with your awards?
Which, mind you, we're not going over those fucking awards because they don't fucking matter.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go over that. But Matt or Nick was like, hey, did AEW win Promotion of the Year? And he's like, oh, no. Oh. Okay, well, did Tony win Booker of the Year? No. Oh, did we win Tag Team of the Year? No. Okay, you know what, Dave? Fuck you. And they just changed the name.
No longer called the Meltzer driver. It's called the Tony Khan driver.
They're like, fuck you, Dave.
And Tony Schiavone got a $25 gift card on Amazon.
Except they didn't say fuck. They said F off. I want to talk a little bit about the $25 gift card thing. It was very funny. So people were saying it was a jab at Punk. Because I guess Punk went around and gave Starbucks gift cards to, like, the Pinnacle and, like, the women in the locker room and everything and whatnot.
Bro was spending his whole paychecks on Starbucks gift cards.
Yeah. And what I think is funny is my good friend Christine, she didn't think that, like, at first. When she saw it, she was like, I thought that this was just, like, them making fun of, like, shit management at, like, your shitty jobs when instead of giving you a raise, they're just like, oh, here's a gift card for all the hard work you've done. Like, they don't actually really reward you. They're just, like, giving you petty prizes. And she was like, now
it's those Secret Santa gifts.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're doing Secret Santa, or not. No, it's not like Secret Santa, but it's like they have a company Christmas party.
Yeah, and they give everyone a little present.
And it's like, oh, we're getting a little present, and it's just like a fucking $10 gift card to like Dunkin' Donuts and shit.
And she said that she thought that it was a jab at that at first. And she's like, now I just want to see them throw a fucking pizza party. And I think that would be the funniest fucking thing. Can you imagine, right? Like, so they have another, like, squash match on Rampage, right? And they pull Tony Schiavone in, and they just put, like, a little party hat on him and just, like, pull out a, like, fucking pizza from the bottom of the ring. And it's, like...
No, that's gimmick infringement. I've done that.
It's like half eaten. It's cold. Like, it looks like it's probably been sitting in catering for 2 days and needs to get thrown out.
It's just sauce, no cheese.
Yeah, they forgot the cheese. Like, it's not good. It's like, and they pull out like the tiniest little bitch piece they can and give it to him. Like, I think that would be so fucking funny if they did something like that. And yeah, sure, it could have been a jab at CM Punk, but I firmly believe to follow the suit of Christine and believe that this was a jab at corporations. because that is really fucking funny.
I need them to just film a whole segment where they're backstage throwing a shitty pizza party.
I also want to know what Tony Schiavone spent the $25 on, because I think it was dog toys for his puppies.
He probably was.
That's what I'm gonna hope for. But no, it's funny. This whole fucking gimmick is hilarious. And I saw someone say, like, on Twitter, they're like, every time the Young Bucks cut a promo, I really need that, like, Tony Khan-esque speech at the end of it of, let's have a great show, woo!
It's the fun, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I love it because it's just so funny. Like,
it's great.
It's just funny. Like,
it's great.
I still fucking hate them. Like, I just
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's just... Bro, I think the reason why I like this gimmick so much is because this is some shit that I used to do.
Dude, they're good at it. Like, that's the thing. They're
just
fucking
funny.
Good at being little assholes.
It's so unserious.
It is. It is the funniest fucking thing. Also, I really like seeing how long Nick Jackson can wrestle with a hat on.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive. But yeah, that was very funny. That was all we really had to talk about for Rampage. I think we turned it off after that because I really just wanted to see that and what was going on with the Bucks.
Yeah, we're not reviewing fucking Rampage.
So yeah, there was the three-way tag team match.
Yeah.
Or trios match or whatever, but
moving
on.
Go to Collision first, then come back to Elimination Chamber.
Moving on to Collision.
Yeah.
We'll be starting with Sammy and Hobbs. Low-key had a pretty good no DQ match.
Yeah, Sammy Guevara and Will Hobbs got booked in this random ass no disqualification match to open Collision in Missouri.
Again, I'm sure there was something on Rampage that set up for this.
I'm sure, whatever. But no one got hurt. No one died. Sammy did stupid stuff, but nothing got botched. It was a good match. They did good, and Hobbs won.
I mean, I'm still a little about the ending of it.
Shut up.
Am I not allowed to have an opinion around you? Is that what this is?
They made Hobbs look good.
I'm not going to say that Hobbs didn't look good. I just was like, I don't know. Sammy jumped off this giant ladder, put him through a table, hit him with some beer bottles and whatnot.
That was insane.
And then the finish of the match was a fucking slam through the table, and that was it. From the top rope after Sammy just jumped like 30 feet down from the air.
Hobbs weighs like 300 pounds. Sammy weighs 100.
I know, but with gravity jumping from 30 fucking feet.
They made Hobbs look like a monster.
I'm not saying, like, I think the outcome was right. I don't think Sammy should have won. I just think that it was kind of a little as an ending, but it was fine. I mean, it was good. It was a really good match nonetheless. I'm not going to sit here and say the match was fucking shit. I liked it. It's just that kind of felt weird to me.
They didn't go like full dumbass garbage mode.
No, but still no one threw a table at each other.
I mean, like the most like garbage wrestling thing that they did was the beer bottles, but at least it was fake glass.
You don't know that.
It was fake.
You don't know that.
The bottle broke. The bottle wouldn't have broken. Also, what arena sells bottles?
Sammy might have the strength of 100 gods, and we don't know that. It's possible. He could have shattered that by looking at it.
Okay.
He could have. We don't know. We don't know Sammy Guevara.
Moving on.
Malachi Black finally has a singles match, and he won. Can't wait for the report that he didn't want to do the job.
Yeah, Dave. Malachi won, Dave, and you're going to report that he didn't want to do the job?
That match was a little bit of me in every single fucking way.
It was a good match.
We had Goth Spooky Daddy, and then we had Yeehaw Bounty Hunter Cowboy Daddy, and
Brian Keith. We didn't even mention
Brian Keith. Yes, Brian Keith. And I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. They did a really good job together. And I'm so happy that Brian Keith is all elite because I cannot wait to see more of him. They worked really fucking well together. Really fucking well.
I'm interested to see where the House of Black Mark Briscoe saga goes.
Yeah. Dude, Mark Briscoe was flinging around that fucking kendo stick like it was no one's goddamn business. He was fucking twirling
Mark Briscoe
that bitch.
has the powers to transport to the ring now.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. He found the light switch.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe has superpowers now.
I bet you he was backstage with Dax and they were just walking around. He's like, "Oh shit, is this the light switch that the House of Black uses?" And Dax is like, "Oh shit, man, I think it is." And he's like, "I got a great idea. Okay, you stand here. you're gonna hit this, and then when I'm in the ring, you're gonna turn it back on. And they were just
and
fucking around.
Dax is probably like, what?
And Dax is like, are you? Oh, he's gone. He has the powers to disappear now. But yeah, no, great match. I'm hoping that it's a singles Malachi and Mark Briscoe.
It might be, and then
at Revolution.
And then it might be eventually like House of Black versus Mark Briscoe and two of his friends.
Yeah. So that'll maybe
because it won't be a straight up tag match. Mark Briscoe won't tag with anyone else.
Yeah.
He'll tag with two other people.
Maybe he'll bring Jay Lethal in and someone else. Where's Lethal been?
Probably gonna be the Hardys.
That'd be cool. Where's Lethal been?
He was on Rampage with Jeff Jarrett that one week. When you asked where Jeff Jarrett's been.
We need to fucking watch.
They were teaming with the Dark Order, losing.
We need to watch Rampage more.
To the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Well, that's fine if they're losing to Jay White.
Lord help Jay White.
He's having fun right now, I'm sure.
Fuck Max Caster.
I still don't know what the fuck's going on with Max Caster.
You gonna angry tweet me, Max? Fucking asshole.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what's going on with that whole thing.
You gonna angry tweet me, Billy? Fuck you too.
What Billy do? He's just with them.
Bro, he gets so mad on Twitter anymore at people. It's like,
I don't know. I don't follow him.
It's like, fuck you, dude. Chill the fuck out, fucking roided up piece of shit you are.
Okay, you need to chill the fuck out, Dylan. Anyway, let's continue on before you say some other stupid shit. Serena Deeb is the GOAT.
She won.
I know! She's been doing so good!
It was a good match.
Dude.
She hit the Pepsi twist.
I've missed Serena Deeb so fucking much. I mean, of course, obviously, it was a very valid reason for her to be gone. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to miss her. I still missed her greatly. And it's so refreshing and so good to see her back. Her and Lady Frost had a really fucking good match. I really enjoyed it. I just kind of wish the crowd was a little bit more behind it. That was really my own complaint with it, was like the crowd was not like into it. And I'm like, dude, this is like wrestling.
She's gonna put the wrestling back in All Elite Wrestling, she said. Why do I keep thinking this is a microphone?
I don't know. I'm thinking, a lot of people are thinking it's gonna be Mercedes and Deeb.
The way that promo went seems like it.
That's gonna be really fucking good. And then, you know, whenever Jamie Hayter comes back, we can get Jamie Hayter and Deeb.
Yeah.
And that will be so fucking... I miss Jamie Hayter so much. So fucking much. But yeah, Serena Deeb's fucking killing it. And I hope she at least gets something on the fucking pay-per-view. Because that'd be great. But, you know, we'll fucking see what even happens with that, because the pay-per-view is coming up soon. Moving along to things that will be on the pay-per-view that we'll be talking about. So, Bryan Danielson versus Jun Akiyama.
What a match.
Fuck yeah. Also, Eddie saying fuck the Dave Meltzer word sums up what everyone else is thinking about them.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because Nigel said, what do you think about Bryan Danielson winning the Bryan Danielson Award? And Eddie was like, fuck those awards. Which, yes, fuck those awards.
First of all, I think it's... I love that Bryan Danielson keeps winning his own award.
He keeps winning his own award.
Like, he needs to stop. It's so stupid. It's so funny. But yeah, no, Danielson versus Jun Akiyama, great fucking match. I really liked the ending of it where, you know, he shook his hand and then he flipped off Eddie and Akiyama was like...
City.
Yeah, Akiyama was like, yo, what the fuck? And then Danielson was like, I'm sorry, I respect you. I'm just angry at this guy. Here, let me shake your hand again. LOL, JK, PP time. And he kicks him in the dick. And then Eddie's like, oh no, fuck you for kicking my hero in the dick. And then Claudio comes out. And then FTR comes out.
And we're going to get FTR and Eddie versus the BCC on Dynamite. So that'll be cool.
That'll be a really good match.
I can't believe FTR saved Jun Akiyama.
I love this consistent, like, tie back to Eddie and Mox.
Yeah.
Like, we still haven't gotten something really... I don't think we've gotten, like, a finalized finish from this. Because they had their match.
If you think about it...
But, like, something's still there.
I think they have only had 2 matches. And they had the I Quit match during the pandemic. And then they had the Continental Classic Finals match.
Yeah.
They need to have an exploding barbed wire death match.
We got like, them one-on-one with the Continental Classics, but I still feel like there's something kind of lingering here. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it wasn't like a satisfying end. I don't know.
I want them to have an exploding barbed wire death match.
I mean, that would be great, and if they actually did it right this time. And
they probably won't with fans and stuff, unless they go on a boat.
We're not doing this on the Jericho Cruise.
No, do it on the Jericho Cruise.
No.
There'd be people on the boat that get blown up.
Yeah, that's why we don't do it on the Jericho Cruise.
You put the people that deserve to get blown up, like Chris Jericho, on the boat.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway. Let's move on to Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
Kevin Owens into Koala Bear makes this pay-per-view. Enough said.
I'm glad I woke up at 5 a.m. just to see that. That's all I needed for the pay-per-view. And this is the end of the podcast. Enjoy!
Let's talk about how pissed I was that I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 a.m.
5:20 actually specifically is when I woke up. So my plan was either I'm gonna get woken up, or we're gonna kind of see how this goes, and I might just sleep through it. So we'll see. But I ended up waking up at 5:20 right when like the women's chamber match started. So I missed the Koala Bear, but I saw it on Twitter, so that was cool. But super cute. I loved it. I loved that like all the fucking wrestlers got to like see koala bears and stuff. I wish that the koala bear was in the match.
He throws it at Logan Paul.
And dude, can you imagine how fun it would have been if like Kevin Owens was in his pod with a koala bear?
Or the koalas are like the chill ones, right? They're the ones that are like chill, right?
I don't know if I necessarily say a koala bear is chill.
Or like no, that's a sloth.
You're thinking of a sloth. Koala bears could be fucking crazy.
I thought they were like the chill ones.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say yeah. I mean, if Kevin Owens could just carry one around, they can't be like, the most insane fucking creatures on the planet.
He looked like he was holding a child.
But they can fuck you up. The koala bear will fuck you up. You know what I mean? Maybe a sloth could too, but I don't think a sloth is fast enough.
Imagine a sloth just like, you get the sloth fucking pissed, bro. Like, they get pissed. And, you're just used to this thing being slow as shit, and it just turns into, like, the Tasmaniac, bro. I lose my shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was cute and wholesome, and I loved it. Going into the women's chamber match, Tiffy time and Becky wins.
Tiffy time!
I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they really like the women's chamber over the men's chamber.
It was way better than the men's one, in my opinion.
I mean, I might just have a bias in the men's one.
Tiffy Stratton just had like her 4th main roster match. She is like 24 years old, and this girl was the workhorse of this whole thing. She went wild. She took her bumps. She did great. She should have won. No, I'm kidding. Becky should have won, but it was good. I enjoyed Tiffy time.
I don't think that the women's elimination chamber was bad by any means. I think it was great. It was a fantastic match, and yeah, I mean, Tiffany Stratton's fucking killing it. It was I just liked the men's one a little bit better, again, maybe because of a personal bias. But
it's gonna be Becky versus Rhea.
Yeah, I mean, Becky deserves to fucking win, and I'm hoping that Becky takes the belt off of Rhea. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Rhea. But I just...
Well, yeah, no,
I don't know.
I think it's time for Rhea to drop it.
Yeah, I feel like
it's been a whole year.
I'm over it, you know what I mean?
It's been a whole year, time for her to move on, do something else.
But, yeah.
Go film a movie, Rhea.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly.
She'd probably do a good job at it, honestly. Can you see her, like, playing a fucking villain? She'd do
exactly.
Fucking great.
Have
you know what I mean?
Have her being, I don't know, like Suicide Squad or something.
Okay, let's not do that.
Not the Suicide, but like that type of movie.
First of all, Lady Gaga is doing, is playing Harley Quinn right now. Okay?
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
For one of the new movies coming out. I don't recall what it is specifically, if it was a Suicide Squad or if
Let Rhea Ripley be a character in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie.
You know, actually, I'm sure that we could do something about that. Oh, boy. Anyway, speaking of Rhea, and things that she's involved in, the Judgment Day versus the New Catch Republic, fun tag match, and the Judgment Day wins. Anything that Pete Dunne is in, I am here for. So,
what do you think of Tyler Bate?
I still don't know how I feel about him.
You don't like Tyler Bate?
I don't not like him. He's fine. He's a good wrestler. he's not Pete Dunne, so I wasn't like paying too much attention.
I still need to show you Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate.
His shoes reminded me of Tim's, and I think Anna said it, that his tights kind of look like a diaper. And I was like, ooh, yeah, they do, don't they? But also, speaking of outfits, Damian Priest was wearing a racerback, and like the straps for his top were just enough to cover his nipples. So this man is getting sluttier by the fucking day. It is absolutely insane.
Damian Priest
insane.
Wild.
What is that?
I don't know. Someone's jamming on the outside of the apartment, old time rock and roll on the motorcycle. It sounds like.
Okay.
It's like 30 degrees out. What?
Yeah. Why are you fucking driving a motorcycle at 30 degrees? What the fuck was I just saying now?
Tyler Bate, Damian Priest being a slut.
Oh, yeah. I hope Finn Balor's okay. I don't know if he broke his thumb or not, but his thumb looked kind of nasty afterwards.
He'll be fine.
That sucks.
What do you think about... So, in this match, the screen blacked out for a couple seconds. Mm-hmm. And the reason why the screen blacked out is because the whole front row was flipping off Dom.
I think it's stupid that they blacked out the screen for it.
And then there was other fucking chants of Dom is a wanker and Dom is a C-word.
A cunt. I think it's stupid.
Well, to be fair, their cunt means something completely different to our cunt.
I think it's stupid.
Sorry, YouTube.
I think it's stupid that they blacked out the fucking screen for Dom getting flipped off. Like, it's not live television. This isn't like, you're on...
It's live television.
It wasn't on, like, fucking Fox.
But it's live. We're live, pal.
Can you get that? It's not like it's on fucking cable TV or whatever. You are on pay-per-view. You're on a premium live event. Like, I feel like it's stupid that you're blacking out the screen for something like that when it's, again, I would assume you don't really have as many guidelines you need to really be following. And also, it's a middle finger. Like, who the fuck cares?
I was offended.
Who the fuck cares? Literally 20 years ago, they were flipping off each other left and fucking right in wrestling.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
And now, I get it if you can't do it on the TV shows because, again, regulation. But on an event that people are paying to watch? Come on. Stupid. Fucking stupid. Although, what wasn't stupid was, again, the match. The match was fucking great. I like that Dom's doing, like, the stupid heel bullshit and whatnot. He's good at it, whatever. But yeah, predictable. Judgment Day 1. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Type of thing. The Waller effect. Sure, okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean by sure, okay?
Oh, that was kind of just my thoughts about it. Of sure, okay. Like...
Stupid.
It wasn't needed on the PLE. Like, they could have put a fucking other match there.
Stupid.
Something like we know we're getting Cody and Rollins versus Rock and Roman. Probably they could have just done that. This was a Monday Night Raw segment in the middle of a fucking PLE. That's what it was.
Stupid.
Like, we didn't need it. It was literally just to get Grayson Waller because it's his hometown. You could have
put him in a match.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I think that the whole fucking Rock and Roman and fucking Seth and Cody tag team match is so fucking dumb, and it doesn't need to fucking happen.
Yes,
There's
does.
no fucking reason.
Moving on, because that's all our thoughts are about this. Of sure, okay.
I was popping off, and you interrupted me again. I'm the host.
The men's chamber.
And you're interrupting me.
Go on.
I mean, no, it's just, you know how I feel about this. I just don't think it should be fucking happening. Although I will say, the one thing that did give me a good fucking chuckle was when Austin Theory was doing the fucking, Rock impersonations, and Seth just grabbed him and started, and spun him around and threw him, but as he was spinning him and throwing him, he was still going off with the impersonation until he hit the fucking, poster. That was fucking funny. But also, fuck Austin Theory. But it was funny. Now, since I'm done talking, moving on, the men's chamber, which I liked.
Drew McIntyre is going to WrestleMania.
As he so deserves.
This was this match, in other words, was the who will fill CM Punk's spot at Mania.
Yeah, I think I I think Drew fucking deserves it. I liked this match more than the women's match simply because I liked watching Logan Paul get his ass handed to him by Kevin Owens and by everyone else. Because I fucking hate Logan Paul. So that was good, and I enjoyed watching him get a good old-fashioned beat down. I also would like to just take this moment to... Are you okay?
I hit the pen.
Okay, well, stop doing it so fucking aggressively. I would like to take this moment to congratulate and, Dylan.
I needed to do that, sorry.
And appreciate, I guess, the fact that AJ Styles conquered his fear and traveled to Australia and did not fall off the edge of the earth.
Yes.
So, very good for you, AJ Styles. And I'm glad that you just showed up to be a petty fucking son of a bitch and just beat the shit out of LA Knight with a chair. That was funny. That was great. And I hope now you understand that the earth is a globe.
It seems like they're doing like a whole story of, there's going to be, I think, a multi-man match for the U.S. title. It seemed like a lot of people were involved. LA Knight should win.
As long as someone takes it off of fucking Paul.
But yeah, Drew McIntyre is going to WrestleMania.
Woohoo! I hope Randy Orton's okay.
He's fine.
Is he good?
He's fine. It was a master class of real professional wrestling of how to sell.
Okay, because that was
selling 101.
That was the thing that I was talking about earlier, saying, if you think this guy's working or shooting. Because it was hard to tell. And I was a little concerned.
No, he's fine.
For him. But, yeah, no,
that was just a master class of selling 101.
Okay.
Go watch, don't roll your eyes at me when I'm about to talk.
Because you keep interrupting me.
I'm talking about Ricky Morton now. Hold on.
You're interrupting me.
Go watch a Ricky Morton match, because that's what Ricky Morton does.
Anyway, he had me for the match, basically, being like, oh my god, fucking Randy. I was talking to my coworker about it, and he was like, I don't know if I enjoy watching Randy Orton wrestle anymore, because I'm scared every time I watch him wrestle.
Nah, he's fine.
But yeah, so I really like the men's chamber match. I think the right person won. Again, this whole card was just predictable to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't see any sort of other outcome of ever happening in this card. And then moving on to it again, predictability-wise, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax.
Rhea Ripley... Well, not Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax had her best match. It wasn't the greatest thing ever.
No, people are making it out like it was fucking insane.
But it wasn't the worst thing ever. It was a good 2.5-star, 3-star match.
It was fine. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything overzealous. People are really fucking going over the top about Nia Jax and like kissing her ass and whatnot. And like, yeah, she had a good match. She's capable of having a good match. That's great. But like, I wouldn't sit here and fucking, throw a party over it. Like,
when this match was going on, I had said it to you. I said they're literally just gonna work the 5 steps of a wrestling match and just do that and go home, and that's what they exactly did.
Well, when this match was going on, I was getting ready for work.
Yeah.
Because I had to go places before work, but I was getting ready to leave the house because I was like, all right, it came on at 5 a.m. here, and I had work at 10, and this was nearing like 8:30. So I had to be at work for 10, and I had to go do other stuff before work. So I was like, I'm just going to fucking die this whole day. And I did. I lost my fucking marbles by the end of the fucking night. I was losing it. Like, I don't even know what time I ended up actually falling asleep last night. It was probably maybe 11 or something, which is really early for me. But I lost my fucking shit last night. But yeah, so I didn't really overly watch this match because I was getting changed and getting ready for my long day ahead. But of course Rhea won. Of course she had her moment in Australia, which was well deserved. I saw some clips going around after the cameras were turned off, like people filming her, and she was just breaking down, and I was like, "Oh."
She waited until the cameras were off.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, Rhea, she so fucking deserved it. She so fucking deserved that moment." So very happy for her. And I think that about wraps up everything that we were looking to talk about the episode-wise and news-wise, which brings us to the Wrestler of the Week.
You get to pick.
And since I'm the host, I get to pick. And I thought, let's not be overly predictable this time. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this isn't too predictable for me. So my wrestler of the week is Bryan Danielson.
Hell yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to sit and actually talk about Danielson for a bit, and my complicated history, not really complicated history, but complicated history with Bryan Danielson from when I was younger till now. So Dylan, I'm going to have you ask me some questions to kind of guide this a little bit better.
All right.
So send me your best options of things for me to answer.
Okay. Let's start with the basic of thoughts on Bryan Danielson.
Current day thoughts on Bryan Danielson. I love him. I think he's great. I think he has deserved to win his own award 3 times. And just also in general, I know the awards don't really matter too much, but I think he deserves an award named after him. Realistically, he deserves a tribute show, and everything, because he is absolutely phenomenal. And I would say in my opinions, one of the best wrestlers in the world, hands down. I will agree with that fucking statement.
Yeah, I agree.
I, growing up, didn't get him. I didn't understand.
Well, let me go into the next question.
Okay, I didn't know how you're going to be going off about this.
The first time do you remember the first time you saw him?
Yes, I do.
This will help out this whole thing. Trust me, because I know where this is going, so go on.
So when I first saw Bryan Danielson, my very, very, very first experience with him was when he was in NXT, and NXT was still like the game show.
And he was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. So he was Daniel Bryan in this NXT game show thing where they had to do all these weird ass, funky ass things that, I don't know why I thought like, climbing monkey bars through a fucking course to get to the ring was how you learn how to become a wrestler.
When I was watching when this aired, like when the original NXT came on, I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little kid. I thought it was the greatest shit at the time. But watching it back, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't really know what the whole point of it was actually really supposed to be.
We should review like an old episode of NXT.
Because I didn't know for the longest time, because I fell out of wrestling a while ago, and then recently got back into it. I didn't know that they ever changed it to an actual wrestling show.
Yeah.
Like, I still thought it was like this game show premise for the longest fucking time.
No. It went on for a few years, like painfully few years.
Yeah, so my first experience with him was when he was in NXT, and he was with
The Miz.
The Miz.
The Miz was his pro.
The Miz was his pro.
Yeah, the whole thing was they got pros.
Which now knowing later on in life is the most ass backwards thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But basically, yeah, so I was introduced to him from NXT, and whatever, and I didn't really care too much about him, and then he ended up on, like, the main rosters and whatnot, and I didn't fucking get him.
Now, you followed him, like you were, like, following him, like, when he got up to the main roster, like, the early beginnings.
Yeah, a little bit.
The start of yes and no.
Yes, yeah.
So go through that.
Well, I don't remember, my memory is bad. So I don't remember 100% things specifically. I remember Team Hell No.
Okay.
I remember when he turned the yes chance to the no chance, and then he got mad at everyone for still saying yes. And I mean, the thing is, that was really it, because when I was younger, I was not a fan of him. I didn't like him. I didn't understand why so many people liked him. So anything that really had to do with Daniel Bryan, I really gave two shits about, because I was like, this guy's boring. This guy doesn't make sense to me. Why is everyone freaking out over him? Why does everybody love him so much? Quite literally up to him entering AEW, I was still like, I don't understand.
It's like, oh, go ahead.
I was like, I don't understand why so many fucking people are so excited for Daniel Bryan to be going to AEW. He's boring. I don't get him. I don't like him. I don't, why are people so excited about this? I never fucking knew. And the reason...
No, I want to milk people more on this.
Okay.
It's just funny. I want to milk people more on this. So, you fell out of wrestling for a little bit. But
for a while.
Do you remember him winning the titles at Mania? against Orton and Batista? Like, do you remember any of that? The Yes Movement? Any of that?
Very sparingly, but not enough to talk about.
Okay. Do you remember him being the Planet's champion with Kofi Mania? All of that? That was 2019.
Was that when he had that vegan belt?
Yeah.
I remember the vegan.
And he was with Redbeard.
I wasn't watching in 2019.
Okay.
But I do remember, like, from my brother, I remember him telling me some stuff, and when I remember the vegan belt of its existence.
I'm just milking this for our viewers.
But yeah, no, very sparingly do I know, because I stopped watching around the time Edge retired.
Yeah.
And then I came back when Edge came back.
Yeah, because when Edge retired, he was in NXT around that time. When Edge retired, Danielson was in NXT.
Okay. 'Cause I remember being at home and my brother still having it on TV, and like I'd catch it, but I wasn't watching it weekly. I guess that's actually the better way of putting it. Is I was not sitting here and watching it weekly like I used to.
Yeah.
But when my brother had it on, I would stop and watch a little bit. My brother would tell me something. So like I remember after Edge's retirement, like bits of things happening.
Okay.
And that's like very sparse in my memory of things.
And then he just did random shit during the COVID era when you were watching, like, but you obviously remember him facing Roman and Edge at Mania, like his last couple of months there.
Yeah.
You remember that. Now, listen, tell the viewers why you didn't understand Daniel Bryan when Bryan Danielson showed up in AEW and you were like, what the fuck?
Well, okay, so when I was told he was going to be Bryan Danielson, I was like, oh, okay, so WWE just flipped his name. Really, the Daniel Bryan, like they just flipped it. Okay, sure, whatever. Which, that really, like, looking back on it, why the fuck did you do that? Because that is so stupid.
Because Bryan Danielson was his indie name.
I know, but it made no fucking difference realistically.
And that's his legit name.
Realistically speaking, Daniel Bryan and Bryan Danielson are like the same name. Like there was no reason to do that. It was just extra for no fucking reason. I didn't really care about Daniel Bryan. And everyone was freaking out. Oh my God. Daniel Bryan's going to be Bryan Danielson in AEW. And I was like, what the fuck does it matter? It's a flipped name. What the fuck does the difference in name have, like, and especially that, like, simplistically of a name. Does this have any fucking difference? He's boring. I don't get him, and da-da-da-da-da. And then it turns out that I'm an idiot. And for my entire life, up until AEW, like learning, like watching AEW and Bryan Danielson coming to AEW, my entire life, I thought that Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan started wrestling from NXT. I didn't know he was in Ring of Honor, because I didn't watch Ring of Honor. I didn't know what Ring of Honor was. Like, I mean, I knew of Ring of Honor later on, and like, but I never watched it. I never knew how many people were there. I didn't know anything about it.
You didn't know Bryan Danielson was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and I knew Ring of Honor existed, but that was the most of my knowledge that went into it. Like, I heard of this thing, I know what this thing was, a promotion and whatnot, and yada yada yada. I didn't know that Bryan Danielson was in Ring of Honor. I didn't know that he was like this well-crafted fucking veteran that got extremely fucking dumbed down by WWE, and for some reason they flipped his goddamn name. Yeah, I legitimately thought, and maybe, I mean, now granted, if you were 10 when he was in NXT, I had to have been like 12.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have been a little bit old, like too old to like really fall for it. But I legitimately thought that, like, okay, he is learning in this weird ass developmental program how to be a wrestler. And that's what this is. And now knowing that the veteran was learning from the guy who won Tough Enough is so fucking stupid. Star. This is so fucking stupid.
You know Bryan Danielson was trained by Shawn Michaels?
That makes sense.
He went to Shawn Michaels' school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Little fun fact for you.
Yeah, so my whole life, up until he debuted in AEW, and I was just sitting here like, I don't get this. Everyone is freaking out. Like, freaking out. Everyone is not up in arms, but just like cheering, like, thank fucking God we're getting Bryan Danielson back. And I'm like, he was just in WWE like a few fucking weeks ago. What the fuck are you talking about? He's still around. What are we talking about? I don't get it. Yeah, I'm stupid, and I didn't realize that he has been wrestling for many, many, many years prior to entering WWE's NXT game show, and that he was a well-rounded, crafted wrestler prior to, and I had no idea of any of the wrestling he had done prior to it.
I had to give you, like, the whole lore about him.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, there's this guy that was in NXT that's kind of boring, and I don't get it. And the reason I didn't get it is because he was dumbed the fuck down as to what he can actually really fucking do and why he is such a fucking good wrestler. Without AEW bringing him back, I to this day guarantee you, maybe it would have been a little bit different, but I don't think I would have ever realized how good of a fucking wrestler he was. Because I never gave him the time of day in WWE. I hated him. I really fucking hated him.
I always loved Bryan Danielson. I even loved Daniel Bryan. Like, I loved it, but that was also because I knew, like I said, I was 10 years old. I knew what Ring of Honor was when, like, at the age of 10, but didn't, like, fully fucking know all of it. You know what I mean? But I knew the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and was like, hey, I've seen this guy on videos before in this other company. He's really good. And then, obviously, I'm 10. I see people fucking playing Rock'em Sock'em, whatever the fuck K carries on national television. It's like, this is neat. And then you become a teenager, and you're like, wow, what the fuck were they doing with him?
Yeah, because, I mean, my brother was way, like, I really liked wrestling, but my brother was way more fucking into it than I was. But even with my brother knowing stuff, I was still very well unaware of anything to do that wasn't WWE or TNA. Like, that was the only two promotions in my brain that I knew fucking existed.
And that happens.
And I mean, granted, I knew ECW and I knew WCW.
But
that's kind of combined now into WWE.
You didn't know the rinky-dinky indies.
Yeah, no, I didn't know any of it.
Yeah.
My brother knew that shit. My brother was watching that shit on fucking YouTube or whatever, wherever the fuck he could fucking find it and shit, where I was learning how to do Hatsune Miku dances in my room right next door to him. So I did not, there was a very clear disconnect at some point in our interests.
You didn't give a fuck about Bryan Danielson.
I didn't give a fuck about Bryan Danielson unless Daniel Bryan was fucking wrestling Hatsune Miku on fucking SmackDown.
You were like, who the fuck is this Bryan Danielson guy?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand. Why are we flipping his name around? I don't get it. Like, and that was, when did he show up? 2021?
Yeah, All Out.
2021.
All Out.
So from 2010 to 2021. For 11 years.
Well, he was also retired for a little bit of that.
Well, my point is, for 11 years, I had no idea that he had any other wrestling history prior to NXT. For 11 fucking years.
And I thought you did at first.
I had no idea.
Until you were like, I think you were like, why are you, like, so excited about it? Like, he's the yes guy. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Yes, but no. Fucking completely different, and I had to give you the whole lore about him. My
whole thing was like, I know people liked him in WWE, sure, but like, he's just the guy that goes, yes, I don't understand what the big fucking deal is.
And I was like, no, this is completely
different.
We
were talking about the yes, not the no.
I was like, this is completely different. There's a whole different world of him.
But like, I feel like such an idiot talking about it, but also like, in my defense, for someone who didn't know jack shit about anything to do with the indies, I felt like, and up until recently, they've still done it so fucking well. WWE does a really fucking good job about pretending like wrestling doesn't exist anywhere else.
Hey, they mentioned Kenta Kobashi.
That's what I'm saying, up until recently.
Yeah, that was...
Like, up until recently,
nuts.
They did a really good job of pretending like wrestling was only on WWE and nowhere else.
Yeah.
So,
I think
of course I wouldn't have got any backstory about him.
if I do recall, but it wasn't really like a mention of it. I remember when you wouldn't remember, no offense. I don't even truly remember. I have to find the promo. But it was in NXT. And I remember Bryan Danielson cutting this promo as Daniel Bryan. I think it's when he got eliminated off the show.
Okay.
Or he was just cutting a promo and he was like, "You guys remember a guy like Bryan Danielson?" And the crowd popped. It was kind of like him. I forget the whole, like, I have to find it. It's going to bother me now. And, like, the whole context of it. But it was a really good promo and kind of like just like him being like, yeah, you guys know I'm better than this.
Yeah. But then he ended up getting stuck in WWE anyway.
Yeah.
But also, in fairness, where the fuck was he to go?
Yeah, there was really nowhere to go.
You know, like,
at that point.
where was he to go? Maybe TNA Impact?
He could have went back to Ring of Honor, but
Ring of Honor was still just kind of, you know, like...
He wanted money. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, he deserves to get paid for his work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Ring of Honor wouldn't pay him for his work, but he deserved to be getting paid a lot more for his fucking
You're going to get paid more money working in WWE than Ring of Honor.
So, I mean, yeah. So a good chunk of my wrestling existence had no fucking clue about what this guy was actually capable of. And now that I know, and I'm educated, because remember, guys, it's okay to learn things and change your opinions on things and be open-minded about stuff and better educate yourselves. Now that I'm well aware of this...
Never.
Yeah, never. Now that I'm well aware of this, I've learned to appreciate Bryan Danielson, and I fucking love Bryan Danielson. And also, you know, going back into it as to one of the reasons why I thought he was boring was... I still do obviously have this preference, but when I was younger, if you weren't doing flips, tricks, and fucking whatevers, I did not give two fucks about the match. I wanted flippy shit, and I wanted it fun, and I wanted it all in my face immediately of the flippity doodads. And that wasn't his thing. That's not his thing. He's a very good fucking technical wrestler, but I didn't give two shits about technical wrestling. Now I do. I still obviously will prefer high flying over technical. That's just my taste, and that's perfectly fine to have. But I've learned to appreciate it, I've learned to like it, and I've learned to be invested in it. And hands down, like, I fucking love him. I absolutely fucking love him. And I'm glad that I have that appreciation for it now, because I feel like learning how crazy he was in Ring of Honor before he ever showed up in NXT, and even just not him, just in general of, like, all the other wrestling that was out there that I was so blissfully unaware to. I feel like I missed out on a lot.
You did.
I missed out on so many fucking good things. And I'm really glad that Ring of Honor is on YouTube and also Honor Club exists and whatnot. And I'm glad that the library is available. But I missed out on so much fucking wrestling. And I think the one thing that I am the most pissed off that I missed the fuck out on was PWG.
Yeah,
I
you
missed
would love PWG.
all of PWG. The whole thing. The whole fucking thing. And they're not doing anything now, right? They're like inactive.
Well, yeah, I think Super Dragon's wife is sick.
So yeah, they're inactive right now.
You would have loved PWG.
I missed it all. Yeah. And every time I get
PWG was great.
And it's not the easiest thing to find their shit. And anytime I do get to find their shit or watch clips from it, I'm like, I'm so fucking mad.
I always show you PWG shit because it's just great.
I'm so mad I missed it because it's everything I love.
Yes, Dylan, the fan of Jim Cornette, also likes PWG.
Dude.
Enough said.
I would have loved PWG. I mean, I love what I see of it. It is everything I want in wrestling. And I just was too unaware and ignorant of it all. And I feel like that is, and again, they're doing better now with it, so I don't want to say current day, but at least heavily in the past, I feel like that's one of the worst things that WWE has ever done, was pretending like WWE was the only wrestling that existed and the only wrestling that mattered. And again, don't get me wrong, if you were really big enough into wrestling, you were going to find other stuff. But for someone like me with maybe like kind of at the time, but it was getting a little bit better, very limited internet access. And I'm not saying because I didn't have the internet, it's just because my parents like really didn't want me and my brother divulging too far into the internet.
Well, and also you pretty much knew YouTube.
Yeah, I knew like YouTube. And I mean, I could have typed in like wrestling, but I wasn't allowed to really go into like chat rooms or different things like that. So there was really no one else to talk to about wrestling aside from like my dad and maybe my brother. But like me and my brother, while we watched wrestling together and maybe played some of the video games together, for the most part, we did other video games and stuff together. We did other things together that wasn't just centric around wrestling, and it wasn't like an overly huge fucking topic we constantly like were talking about. So and I never really brought up to my brother of like, hey, what other wrestling is out there? Because in my head, WWE was the only wrestling. WWE and TNA, they were the only two fucking wrestlings that existed. There was nothing else. So I never thought about asking about it because I was never branched out into anything else. So I feel like with WWE really doing that, it hindered a lot of people that might have been in my same type of position or just watched it casually who maybe was like, oh, well, if this is really all it is, then I don't really care to ever look into anything else. I don't really care about wrestling if this is what it is. And hindered other people from going to enjoy other stuff. Because I'm so upset. And I mean, granted, I'm young, I'm 25, and I have everything is at my fingertips with the fucking internet at all given times now. So anything that I want to go learn, I could learn about it. But I really feel like I just really missed out on so fucking much. I didn't know New Japan was a promotion until I worked at Hot Topic in 2016, 2017, and we were getting Bullet Club stuff in. And when I heard about New Japan, I went to my brother because my brother was asking if we got the shirts in and whatnot. And I was like, so is New Japan like a new wrestling thing? Is it like new, like it's a new promotion? Like this is like a new WWE type thing? And my brother's like, no, what? No. And I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything. All I know is WWE and TNA. Like, and TNA was just kind of fizzling off to begin with once it turned into Impact, so that just kind of didn't exist to me for a while anymore either. Like, that was literally all I fucking knew. And, again, I'm glad that I'm more educated now about it, but that's one of the things that I see online so much that really pisses me off, where people do only watch, like, WWE and only care about WWE and this, that, and the other thing, and not even of just, like, necessarily a preference thing of just like this is all I have type of thing. It's like you don't. You can go, and even the wrestling stars you love right now, go watch AJ Styles in Ring of Honor or TNA or New Japan. AJ Styles to me was better any fucking where else except for WWE. WWE did the same thing to AJ Styles that they did to fucking Bryan Danielson. They dumbed him down. And I fucking can't stand him in WWE. I think he's a great guy who just happens to think the earth is flat. Great fucking guy. Yeah. Amazing fucking wrestler. Fantastic fucking wrestler. So much better utilized literally anywhere else. Anywhere else. Go watch Shinsuke Nakamura in Japan. Go watch him in fucking Japan and compare it to what they fucking do to him on Americanized television. Absolute fucking dog shit. Like, it makes me so mad because you could find all of these people that you enjoy seeing on a day-to-day basis on YouTube and see so many other companies doing such great fucking things, but because it's not on Fox, you don't care. And that makes me so fucking mad. It makes me so mad to think that, like, all these people are just centrically only WWE and only, that's the only one that matters. It's not. And once I started opening up my own horizons about it, and learning and finding out that there's something in wrestling that makes me feel a certain way and makes me feel like a kid and makes me feel happy and giddy, like, I'm so much fucking better off for it. Like, again, I'm not gonna sit here and say if you prefer the WWE style just because that's what you like and that's the type of wrestling style you like, you are all by all means allowed to believe that and feel that, and if that makes you happy, that's fucking great. It's for the people that specifically belittle everybody else for it. And just being like, well, this is clearly the real wrestling. This is the only wrestling that matters. It is not the only wrestling that matters. And you are insulting an entire craft that you are claiming that you love. And you are doing it with the company that made me believe that Bryan Danielson was legitimately trained by the fucking Miz. What the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway, do you have any more questions for me about Bryan Danielson? Because I just popped the fuck off.
Yeah, anyway, first off, That's why I like every once in a while I'll be like, Lissy, I need to show you this, and it's like, or it's like, oh, I got to show you like Ring of Honor person so and so. I got to show you Bryan Danielson from the King of the Indies tournament in 2001 because oh man, I want to eventually do a whole review on that show. I think that would be a fun review. I want to do a whole review now on on the beginning stages of NXT because that would just be funny. But anyway, Lissy, favorite Bryan Danielson match?
Ooh. Well, in the first one I don't want to necessarily say favorite, but the first one that's come to mind was the one he recently just had in New Japan with Zack Sabre Jr. Because that had me fucking glued to my goddamn fucking screen. That was so fucking good. Oh, that's a tough one. I really do think I gotta say it. I really do. I'm sorry. But I think Danielson versus Kenny.
The 30-minute time limit?
The 30-minute time limit draw. That is picture perfect. Chef's kisses. Fucking fantastic. Phenomenal. Again, anything in the WWE of his, I don't care. Although, I will say, going back and revisiting some of the stuff, him turning on the Wyatt family was a great moment. Wasn't necessarily a specific match, but fantastic fucking moment. Like, from rewatching that and now understanding and seeing the aura from the crowd and the energy in that building, oh my fucking god, goosebumps.
That was the start of the S movement.
That was the start of the S movement.
Him and Punk had a Ring of Honor style match on a Over the Limit pay-per-view in, I believe, 2012. Like, straight up Ring of Honor style match.
I'm trying to think of the matches I've watched of him in Ring of Honor in recent memory. And
you ever see him and Nigel? Did I ever show you that?
I think I might have.
Because that's a good one. That's my favorite one. Have you ever seen him low key and Christopher Daniels from the first Ring of Honor show?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
you've seen that
yes,
one.
I've
That's
seen
a good
that
one. That's a good one too. I'm trying to think of like ones. What do you think about him versus Okada? From Wrestled Dream, because I know you didn't see the New Japan one.
It was fine. I feel like that's kind of rude to say because I love them both.
It was Okada working in America. He's only given 80%.
Yeah, so it was fine. You know, I like that the angle that which unfortunately happened with Danielson breaking his arm. I like the angle that they ran with afterwards to kind of continue it going. But I think also because Okada in America, also American restrictions for wrestling, and Danielson getting hurt that early into the match, like it wasn't as good as it could have been. But it was still great. You know, I liked seeing them. Like I liked seeing them together. But it did just feel like there was something holding them back. Which now we probably should watch the New Japan one.
We should.
Because we can.
Go back to the ring. Do you remember any Ring of Honor matches you've seen against him? Like featuring Bryan Danielson?
I feel like because the other day I was at work and everyone decided to show up at 3:00, and because there's a lot of shit that happened that day, so I was alone on my side of the shop until 3:00, and I was like, fuck this, I'm putting wrestling on. So I just put on some Ring of Honor matches, and I think I watched him. It was Bryan Danielson versus AJ Styles on YouTube. Is that a match that existed, or am I putting two of them together?
Hold on a second.
Because I feel like that was one that I watched. Just type in Ring of Honor Bryan Danielson or AJ Styles, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I watched that one the other day when I was alone at work and no one else was there, and I was like, fuck this, I'm watching wrestling because I can get away with it, but I don't want to put Peacock on. So I just went on YouTube and I just watched a bunch of Ring of Honor matches. But yeah, any more questions you got that can continue this conversation of my feelings?
I think just to wrap it up, your overall thoughts.
About Danielson?
Yeah.
My overall thoughts, I feel like I've been robbed for a good, quarter of my life, if not more than a quarter of my life. A third of my life, I have been fucking robbed of Bryan Danielson, and I've been made to think lesser of him when I feel like that was terrible of me. However, current day of him, I have a very, very, very strong appreciation for him. I absolutely love him. I think he's a psychopath, and I love that about him.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
He's a crazy motherfucker. He should wrestle a bear.
For the record, Dylan loves Bryan Danielson. We didn't go in depth on my opinions on him. I love Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Like, respectfully and lovingly, he is a madman. And I love that so much about him. And it's upsetting to know that he's gonna be...
Apologize for the noise.
It's upsetting to know that he's gonna... be retiring at least as a full-time wrestler. I don't know if he's going to do part-time stuff every now and again, but...
He is.
He probably is. But, it's upsetting knowing he's going to retire, but he does have a family and whatnot, and, I understand.
What do you think of, like, his last run that he's doing right now, where he's just...
Oh, it's great!
He's just wrestling random fucking people he wants to wrestle.
Fucking great. He just literally, wrote down a bunch of names and handed them to Tony Khan and told him to pick out of a hat
He needs a bear. Tony better pick the bear soon.
Yeah, I know, right? He's waiting. He's waiting on him. He's like, dude, my time's running up. Where's the bear? Where's the fucking bear? But yeah, love him. Appreciate him. I'm very upset that for the longest time I didn't get it, and
Can you draw a picture of Bryan Danielson wrestling a bear for this episode?
I could sure try my best.
Sweet.
It might not be the most in detail thing. It might honestly just be a little doodle. But sure, I could do my best to draw a little picture of Bryan Danielson wrestling a bear.
Fuck yes.
But yeah, so again, I appreciate him. I love him, and I wish I loved him for longer than I have. But it is what it is, and you can only go up from there. So, But I think that about does it.
That wraps up this episode of we got mad for 60% of the episode. We were yelling at a lot of things.
I was yelling at you a lot.
I was yelling at a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now we're here at the very end of this podcast. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna call it.
I don't know either, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Anyway.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to share this out with your friends, families, loved ones, and possible bear opponents. I'm sure that they'll love hearing about it, and maybe they'll get the idea that they also want to wrestle Bryan Danielson, and maybe we'll see a bear on AEW television after this.
And hit that notification bell so the bears know when it's coming.
Yeah, the bears need to know when it's coming. If you would like to find us on social media, you can find our podcast Instagram at Talkin Wrasslin Pod. That's TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD.
Not the band.
Not the band. It's pod like podcast. If you would like to find me on social media, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lungtar. That's LUNG_TAR. If you enjoy hearing my voice and want to see my face matched up with my voice, which God bless you if you fucking do, you can follow me over on TikTok, which is LungBucks. That's LUNG_BUCKS. It is a pun on the Young Bucks. If you are unaware of that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you about it. But Dylan, if all these people hate me and are so happy that you're going to be hosting next week's episode, where the fuck can they find you?
You can find me on the Instagram app of Danny Valo, DANI_Valo, VALO _line. Screw TikTok. I barely use it. My profile picture is a cash wheeler in a cowboy hat. So if you think you can find me on TikTok, there you go. And Twitter, same thing. It's not the same profile picture, but you'll know if you listen to episode 1 you'll know it's me. Yeah, I don't think you want to follow me on Twitter, but I just talk about Bull Nakano a lot now as of late on Twitter.
Yeah, you sure do.
I do. It's crazy of what we just do on Twitter anymore. But yeah, I'll be hosting next week, so I get to pick Wrestler of the Week. Haha.
Woohoo.
I don't know what I'm going to pick.
Oh, you better figure something out quick, buddy.
I don't know who I'm going to pick. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and yeah, share this around because we curse a lot, so we need the help.
We really do. We definitely really do. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next week, until Dylan is hosting, and until we figure out what the fuck we'll even be talking about. So, yeah, we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.